hats and all that BS. But he was actually a full persona. It changed a little bit over the years, but it's still the exact same.
No, that was a fire interview.
And you feel intimidated. But I want to go shake his hand for even doing that. But it was at the time in LA, it was all about it was Hollywood. You know what Hollywood is, man. You see somebody wearing something like that, everyone crying around there. I couldn't get close to him. I think I saw it twice at the Coliseum. So you're thinking like he one of those guys. No, you see him on on the sidelines. You thinking like one of those guys. Like, damn, I'll meet you in the back alley. But I tell you what, he's that type of guy. If you have a flat tire on the side of a highway, he drive by, he'll stop and help you. That's the kind of person he is.
No, he seemed legit. When I was watching you guys, he seemed like a really good dude, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was a great interview, man. You guys killed it, to be real. That was tight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was he's real. And he's all about the nation. He's all about the nation. He's all about uniting us and getting everybody together on the same page, which we should be doing anyway.
So. Yeah, there was so much energy, man. Like it was so. That's what like other fans used to come in, and that was just a staple. Like the black hole, all the crazy costumes, and you know what I'm saying. Like it was crazy. People literally had a fear of going into Oakland Stadium, and it was. Oh, what we're trying to get Vegas to right now is where it's our stadium, where there's it's us, and then it's the few that are brave enough to come into our our home.
Look, it's a new stadium. Vegas never had any professional teams, so they got was the Knights, then the Aces.
Yeah.
So for years
they were party city for the longest. Now it's changed.
They weren't no professional teams in Vegas, because the NFL and all that stuff. Too much gambling there. Well, we're gambling anyway, so the might as well put it there. So it's a thing like I don't know if you guys moved. I moved a lot around town. When you first get a neighborhood, nobody knows who you are. Then you throw that barbecue, then they get to meet you. Like I still don't know who you are. Then you throw your second barbecue, like it's kind of cool. Then you throw your third barbecue, now they're your best friends. That's what they got to take for us. First, we got to win some games.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to play well, perform right. So it's gonna take time. It's not gonna. If they move back to LA, it'd be a lot different. A lot different. Because if LA got the biggest fan base for the Raiders than any other city.
This is my thing though. Do you guys think that the culture has changed drastically since going to Vegas, or you think we still got that?
Well, like Baller said last night, he said I've never been to Oakland. Oakland Raider game in Oakland. I was going to one, bus broke down. That's another story.
Damn.
But I've never been actually to Oakland Coliseum to watch a Raider game. So it's different. The LA culture was more or less like who's there, what Hollywood stars are coming in.
Yeah.
It's more like when they first got to LA, it was more like a social event. Because we had the Los Angeles Lambs. They moved to Anaheim. Yeah, they moved to Anaheim, like good riddance. And then we got the Raiders because LA was a USC town and UCLA somewhat, but USC town and Dodger town and Laker town. We got a team. We got a real team. That in them days they were competitive. They were dominating. They were good. They weren't super good, but they were good. So when they got here, we were like, another team like the Lambs. But then we saw domination. But still, it's like who. It was like you had to be there. You know what I'm saying? You had to be there when all the big people, and that was a different culture.
I think I don't know.
Oakland is a big working class city. It's a blue collar city.
Blue collar, baby.
Yeah, so the guys work 6 days a week, 60, 70 hours a week. They get their ticket to see a Raider game.
And
Yeah,
they're
they're gonna
cheap.
be fired up. Well, they were cheap, but
Yeah.
still going. The point, like,
Now the shit gets
goddamn
like
boss pissed me off
yeah.
all week, man. He told me to do this now. I want to do. I had to work 80 hours this week. So when they get
Yeah.
the regular game, they fired up. So that's a different culture that I can see. That what you were saying.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it's a little different, but I still feel like I don't know, Raiders are Raiders, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's because I'm used to, I'm a like I said, I've always been a California team person. So, with the Raiders, it really made it hard, but that's my team. So it is what it is. But it's the home was here. You know what I'm saying? From even the
Yeah.
LA fans, you could feel that. Like this is our home. And it's like it's your turf, like, and it sucks when you have to go outside of your turf to go see, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy, but I get it. They needed, the better stadium. I get it. It was worth it.
I'm
It's
not,
just for until it feels like our home and we travel, and it's gonna take the winning. It's gonna take it getting back because I don't know
Yeah.
about you guys, but I don't like talking mess and losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Raider fans, we could talk mess with the rest of them, but it's just that we haven't been able to back that up the last few years. So that's what
Well, I'll tell
sucks.
you what, when
Mhm.
when when I went to Vegas, man, I'm not saying, it's locked down right now, but there was a lot of Raider shit everywhere, bro. I
Mhm.
mean, everywhere you go, you see Raiders, everything. It was tight to see. Because
Mhm.
I'm Californian too, as you guys are. And as we know, we split with the 49ers
Yeah.
in California. It's always the Niners and the Raiders that pretty much split Cali. But it's
yeah.
cool, you know what I mean? When you finally go to Vegas and it's just nothing but fucking Raiders, you know what I mean? It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's a Raider
And
city. They're on the takeover, bro. It's gonna be tight.
yeah, we were just talking. Hopefully you've seen that too, Chewy's. Me and Chris were talking before the show about the Rich Eisen take on us becoming pretty much a sleeper team that people should be, have
Yeah,
their
yeah.
eyes open for.
I
Rock,
agree.
Um,
we just brought
I
that up.
agree.
It's not a topic. We're talking about anything and everything, Rock. So don't despair. Stay with us. That's just something that came up. So, and I'm gonna say something to Frank Weber. Frank Weber, I'm talking about food right now because I ate breakfast. When I talk about food, I mean I'm hungry. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, just because he was on board with us last year, Rich Eisen and the Raiders, and we let him down. But this year,
Oh yeah.
he's really feeding into what we're doing with Pete, and if he liked what we did last year, we did a lot of good things this year. So maybe he was just a little premature, and maybe this is the season.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you guys look at last year's games too, man, we lost 5 games by one possession. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did.
And if you look, we lost 5 games with a rookie head coach, with a shitty offensive coordinator, and a horrible quarterback, with a sputtering offense, and the defense was just drained, bro. You know what I mean? So this year, if we can clutch up those 5 games we lost by one possession, hey, that's 9 wins. You know what I mean? I'll take that.
Yeah, we
Especially
were
coming from
close.
4.
We were in a lot of games. We were like more than 5. We were in a lot of games.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that.
I'm talking about the last quarter, one possession. Well, if we could have won it, it was
Oh
5
yeah.
games that we lost.
But I said, we were in a lot of games. It
Mm-hmm.
was then, but all of a sudden, like we were like that donkey game. We was up what could have been up 17-0, 17-3, whatever it was.
The Chiefs
One
game.
mistake, and then we didn't recover. That's part of coaching staff.
Yeah.
They didn't recover, and
No,
then decided to put a quarterback in late in the game. Like it's too late for that. You should have had him in before. Although he did throw a pick, but didn't cost us any points. That's the coaching staff. But this year we have a better coaching staff, more mature coaching staff, more experienced coaching staff than we had in the last few years. Because even McDaniels,
yeah.
that was one of his second stints as head coach. He only lasted in Denver about a year and a half.
I
He
knew that
lasted
was a
longer
bad
with
sign.
us. So as a
Yeah.
head coach, he wasn't experienced neither.
He was
So
only good. He was only good when he was with Belichick, and as we know, Belichick calls everything on his team. You know what I mean? He doesn't. That's just how Belichick is. So, I
well,
mean,
you
I don't see I don't even see why we'd grab him, bro. Especially grabbing Minshew too. Like Did they expect Minshew to come in here and turn this team around or something? You know what I mean? Like that was a joke to me.
Well,
yeah.
the thing with Mark Davis is that he don't want to do football. He's not a football guy, as he mentioned before. He didn't want to get somebody in here that, okay, you run the football operations. That's it. That's why he paid Gruden 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, you do everything. You do everything. I don't make decisions. So he thought that the way the Patriots did their thing, he thought they can do the same thing over here with us. So that's why he hired McDaniels. I'm gonna say McDaniels for right now, but after that I'm gonna stop. He thought that you do everything. Bring your boy Ziegler, and you do everything. And we as fans, the nation, didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it when they hired him. I like, why? You saw the donkeys. Why is he here?
Same thing with Luke Getsy. You see what he did with the Bears, and we still got him. Like, come on, you know what I mean? That's bad coaches, right? Bad coaching.
Well,
or bad bad front office. You know what I mean?
You gotta understand how that went down, because they were down to the bottom 4 of OCs. Like I said,
they had the rookie in there with AP. The fuck was his name? He was an interim too. I forget what his name is.
Which one?
Before they had Getsy.
Oh, goodness. What's his name?
He was pretty cool too.
Towards the end of the season, yeah.
He was a quarterback's coach, then he moved to OC. What was his name?
Not McMahon.
Yeah, he was a black guy. What's his name?
You talking about offensive coordinator?
Yeah, he was offensive coordinator.
He wasn't black. He was a quarterback's coach, and they moved to OC. I can't remember what his name was. Chad, if you guys know, help us out. But yeah, he was there. Yeah. He just ran basically off of what you call them books.
Chad gonna let us know.
I mean, but you know what I mean? Just getting Getsy, that was a waste of money, bro. Just like all these other coaches wasted money.
That was Bob and the Barrel pick, because they tried to get the guy, the couple of guys, they didn't want to come here. They even tried to call Chip Kelly. He said, I don't want to come here. I don't want to come here. Because you got to understand, offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators eventually want to be a head coach somewhere in the league. That's what the payday is. That's where you can run a team. Yeah. If you go to a losing team that loses every year and they're bad organization, that looks bad on your resume. You know? Because where do all these coaches come from?
Try to pigs on a spit.
Where do all the head coaches come from? Their first time. They come from where? Winning teams. If your team's going 13 and 15, or 13 and 14, 3 and 14 and 4 and 13 and 6 and 10, 16 and 11, they're not gonna hire you. Like, your team sucks. No, we don't want you. But if you going to the playoffs a couple years straight, your offense or defense is clicking. You go to the championship game, then you might go Super Bowl. You one game away. They'll get you. They'll pillage you. They'll pillage you.
Get
them. So, who wants to go to a bad organization? Nobody's running well, and
no team.
Sorry, no team gonna want you.
Well, look at Detroit's offensive coordinator
and defensive coordinator, both gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they both are head coaches now.
Yeah. Aaron Glenn went to the Jets, and then Johnson to the Bears.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's exactly what Chris was saying. You get teams that are winning. You know what I mean? That coordinators go to coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other teams, they start picking like, yeah, we want your got to be our head coach. But if you go to losing team, she probably think, well, if I go, wait a minute, I'm go Ohio State, and I'll wait and see what happens. If I go Raiders now, Chip
Kelly or Patrick Graham taking over in the years to come.
I don't know, but Chip Kelly, we came to the Raiders. That time, when Getz was here, and what we had as a head coach.
Oh
yeah, he was like, this looked bad.
I would have loved to see Getsy. I mean, ooh.
Take that back.
Excuse me.
You're a fan, dude. You're a
No,
block.
I would have loved to see Chip Kelly with Devontae Jacoby and that whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that would have been dangerous, but you know, we didn't have the head coach at that time, but that would have been nice to see him as offensive coordinator when we had the pieces.
Yeah, I feel honestly, I think I don't know. I feel like all these bad years were kind of on Mark Davis, to be honest with you guys.
It was all on him.
Yeah, he wasn't moving around, or you know what I mean. You got to make plays when you're up there like that. That's the biggest playmaker, you know what I mean, is Mark Davis.
Yeah. And it's, you know, we need him to get out of the way when we need him to get out of the way. But there's certain points where we needed him to, you know, like we can't let this keep going. Like the McDaniels thing went on way too long. Shouldn't even happen, but it went way too long. And he was telling Raider fans to smarten up. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't us. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. You know, and if if the organization was doing what it needed to be doing, we wouldn't be talking so much. You know, we just want to enjoy some football. That's it. Some good football, some respectable football. But you know,
see a winning season for once. Damn it.
Yeah, but he's telling us smarten up. You know.
Yeah, so I was totally against. I mean, R.I.P. Al Davis, man, but his son, he kind of fucked us.
Well, you know, it's someone a football guy, so but he's a great businessman because
he is. Look at the stadium.
The Raiders had barely $3 million in Oakland. Now they worth like almost $5 billion. They went from $3 million to $5 billion.
Stadium is beautiful.
Smart businessman. That's smart businessman.
You know who was a smart businessman too? Diddy. I'm just saying. I was just saying. My bad.
I have no way to respond.
My bad. Too soon.
No. Well, we'll find out in a couple months, I guess. I don't know.
Man.
Yeah. So one of the questions asked Viral last night is, do you think we're turning a corner? And what he said was very, very interesting. If you guys didn't watch the show last night, please watch it. But I asked him a question. So you think we're turning a corner? He said, no, we're not turning a corner. We're actually pivoting to the right lane. And that it makes sense. I said, we're not going straight ahead like we've been going. We're actually, we're on a 2-lane highway. We get into the right lane to make that turn. That's what I got from that. So we're pivoting in the right direction. So, you know, like the Google Maps where it say, in 20 feet, turn right. You know, so we actually get into that lane to make that right turn in 20 feet. Which that's what I feel like we're doing. Yeah. You know, so Mark Davis finally smartened up. Hired some football people. You know, and that's what's going on. Let the football guys do the football things. And I keep saying, Mark, just sit back and write your checks and have fun with your little 26-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, you're a billionaire. You ain't got to worry about this. Let them do it. You're not your dad.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, when you look at the names we have just in front office, players now, and coaching staff, like that's going to attract a lot of players in the future to want to come play for us as well. You know what I mean? I'm talking about GOATs, though, like people that are currently playing. You know what I mean? When they just see that team stacked up, brother, they're like, damn, I'm trying to get over there and play with Pete and them guys. And you know what I mean? Or maxing that defense out. Like that's how I feel it's going to be like in the years to come. Yeah. Once we get that ball rolling, I guarantee you there's going to be people wanting to come play for us.
Well, see what happened when Pete Carroll, when Hurricane coach. Now we got guys that want to come play for us. They'll take a 1-year contract. You know, before we had these other guys. They're like, only way we can sign you guys, we got to pay you a whole lot of money. Please play for us. Please, we need more money. We ain't got to do that now. Players want to come here. And then we start winning. When we start winning, not if, but when.
Yeah.
Then more players will want to come.
And then you look at all the wide receiver, you know, the whole offense, you look at them and, you know, they're going to be like, damn, they got Chip over there. You know what I mean? Chip, he could ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is that, you know, players, when they come in, when they have a good season, other teams will look at them. And like I said, these guys on 1-2-year contract. And I'm gonna ask Jason and Chewy. I'm gonna ask you a question. When do players play their best in the NFL?
Contract
Just
years.
like Devin White's situation right now.
Contract years. Contract years. When they got 1 year contract, that's all they got. They play their best because they want that extension or another team to notice them. So they're gonna play ass off on this 1 year contract deal. The ones that signed 1 year, 2 years, they're gonna play well and they're gonna play better in their second year on their last day of the contract. Because if you suck in your 1 year, then ain't nobody gonna sign you. We're not gonna re-sign you. We're not gonna extend you. The other team was like, hey, you kind of played pretty bad for the Raiders, man. Why we want you over here?
Exactly.
So what you have the guys that, approve a deal, they're gonna prove that, yeah, I deserve to be a new contract or I deserve to go on another team. Hey, there's our pimp daddy right there.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
What's up with Jeff, man? Good morning.
Somebody called him a pimp last night.
He said, morning, ladies.
So like Fuentes even said, just like Chase Song was playing his ass off on that 1 year contract.
Yep, shout to the 323.
Yeah, he was playing. He was playing.
He bought out.
He was playing. Maybe the Raiders offered him something, maybe with enough. He decided to go somewhere else. Because, see, there's no point in mine. Our defense wasn't that bad last year. That's why New England and other teams stole our players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good players too. At that, they got good, decent players. Not bottom players.
I would say 2.5 were good.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll say Chase On was actually good. Spillane, dog. I feel like Chase On will. He got some point to prove. I feel like he'll be all right. He'll be all right.
And he's going to a good place. He's going to the perfect place to get his, technique in order there in New England. I think that'll be a better, he did what he could here, definitely, you know what I mean? But I think there he'll have a better chance of kind of developing.
The players know as good as the system is ran. So, it's like,
I agree.
Because they run a good system. Because a lot of players are good at what they do, but a lot of players are great at the system they play in.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. I don't care. I chase someone when he was here, but when we get over there and play him, I hope we stinks to bed. I hope Spillane, man, gets like no tackles. They on another team, so I'm not rooting for him.
Do we really worry? Like, are we really worried about Spillane or anybody else that went to New England?
I don't worry about anybody else.
No, I don't think we're
No, I don't think so.
Because they're talking about how those players have insight on the Raiders, but when you look at it, this team's different, bro. Like, them guys ain't gonna have insight on shit.
Yeah, we didn't do nothing right last year. There ain't tape. There's no tape to watch to try to see what we did good because there was none.
Yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? Plan for what we did last year, and we're gonna prove you guys wrong.
That's what I said about Minshew. He signed the Kansas City Chiefs. Now he's the third string quarterback according to the depth chart. He said, "Oh, Minshew went to Chiefs. He gonna tell them all our Raiders secrets. What secrets? Everybody knows we sucked last year. We had no offense. So what secrets he gonna tell? Plus a new OC, so he can't tell them anything. You don't know. That's why they probably signed because, our division guys assigned our former players, like Andre James went to Chargers. Minshew went to Kansas City. We don't want none of you guys. We cool. We don't need to see what's going to beat you.
See, that's when I start disliking players is when they go to divisional teams. You know what I mean? That's when I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fan of this guy no more.
Yeah. Like if Devontae had went to because there was talk he was going to either Niners or Chargers or Rams. I'm like, if bro goes to the Chargers or the Niners, it's over, bro. But he went to the Rams. So I felt like that's respect. That's respect for Raider Nation right there. I know people feel wherever they feel for him, but I mean, he could have really did himself in, but he kept it safe. He went to the Rams, so
Well, he wanted to go play the Jets, play with his boy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AARP Rodgers. He wanted to go over there and play with him. So Aaron Rodgers won him there, so that's where he went. And after all that, now, he's the Rams with Stafford. I mean, Devontae's Devontae. I don't blame him.
He just wanted to win, you know what I mean? And he didn't see any foresight of that in his team. But I bet you now, though, when Devontae Adams is looking back now, he's probably like, "Fuck, I should have just stuck it out." You know what I mean? Because imagine if he did. Because imagine if Devontae Adams did stick it out and he didn't have a sour attitude, and now we got the guys in the team we got now. You know what I mean?
What's up? What's up, Chronicle, man? Chronicles, hey, man. Welcome to the show. I'm going to salute your chat right quick. So, hold on a minute. They got Red Rebel in here. What's up, boy? What's up? Red Nation dropped in. I already said him something. And, of course, we got this guy. I don't know why he's here. Pimp Daddy Jeff. I'm just doing the chat right quick. Go ahead and talk, man.
Yeah. Oh, no. We were just going to say, because imagine, like, if you had Minshew, okay, sorry, we'll back up. Imagine you had a good season with DC. You come over, you guys have the best connection, whatever. DC gets out of there. Now you're getting hospital balls from Minshew and just, all the stuff. And then you finally kind of get something going with Aiden. And then,
Salute.
Everything was just crazy. Like, so, I mean, I can't blame him for, I'm saying, not, because it was frustrating. And I mean, to be honest, did it really make sense? Did we expect him to be like, oh, yeah, well, this makes sense, I'm on board? No, I'm a black man. This is stupid. Like, what the hell? What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And it's like he is going to speak up, because we didn't blame JJ when he was speaking up. When we don't blame Crosby when he's speaking up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knows when it's a show, when it's a poop show. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can't expect them to lie to yourself every day and say that the sky is green when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, but now we're on track. So, like you said, we're in that right lane.
Well, you know what, JJ, he didn't want to leave. He said he wanted to stay, but that Telesco BS, that went down. I don't want to talk. I don't want to get too much on that. But Devontae rubbed me like he didn't want to be here anymore. He wanted to win. He wanted his stats better. He wanted to get that ticket to the Hall of Fame. Which he probably will. I don't know whenever if he does good the Rams or not. But he wanted to be the impact player like he was in Green Bay. He wasn't an impact player here. So, and then you got, he came here good. I'm playing my old boy, Carr. In that first year they played together, he had great yards and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, this new regime takes over. Well, the regime is still there. And all of a sudden, they mad at Carr because of what he did. Ship Carr and let Carr go. And then Devontae stuck like, well, I came here to play with Carr. Although I was traded, but I'm here to play with my boy. We did good in college. Let's do good in the pros. And then, like, all of a sudden, you banging, Minshew? Huh? What's this all about? Or Garoppolo?
Mm-hmm.
What? What? That's the best you can do? You expect me to sacrifice my body and soul and efforts and all this stuff for a guy who can't give me the ball to me, or if you throw the ball to me, I'm getting cracked by a water boy? Come on.
Yeah.
By the water boy?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He got on the sidelines. You see that one game. That's the thing you said. I could get it for to get me killed. You got to throw the ball sideline, got cracked and ran into somebody on the sideline. I don't know if the water boy or not, but I got to get out of here.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I meant the Garoppolo. Then you finally get something developed with Aiden, and then Minshew. The whole kind of order was crazy.
I mean, I know they say Tommy ruined it, but hey, that draft pick was legendary.
Yeah,
I
mean, to be honest,
he did fuck up, but the draft pick was good, dog. You got to cut him some slack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that would have broke us if we had did all the moving that everybody wanted us to do. We wouldn't even had the picks to go along with it. Like the Bowers that we have now, the mayor that we have. You know what I'm saying? Like all the high picks and the stuff that we've actually did these last two drafts wouldn't be there. So I mean, really, and look, we still got Geno. So like, we're cool for for right now. Like I said, and we still got time. Hopefully Geno is everything that we expect, because that's going to sell it right there. And then eventually, I think before Pete gets out of there, they're going to develop another quarterback. When it's time, he's not, because like look what he's already did for us already. We got the quarterback, offensive coordinator. We got pretty much everything in place. So imagine this times three, the 3 to 4 years, whatever that he's going to be here, and this is just the beginning.
And that's what I got out of the draft. Honestly, was they pretty much set Chip Kelly up for a couple of years. You know what I mean? Especially grabbing those two O linemen, then the receivers we grabbed them, then the running back we grabbed them. I mean, bro, like I feel like that team really was like, all right, we got Chip Kelly. Like, what do you want, Chip? You know what I mean? It's on like balls in your court. Let me know what you want.
Exactly.
I need a running back. How Chip is a running back. I need a good running back and some weapons.
That's what the regime's doing now. You can tell they went to the coordinators and the Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll like, all right, Spy Tech, what do you guys need? Pete Carroll said, what we need. Let me go ask my offensive coordinator and my defensive coordinator. What do you guys need? What do you think we need for this team? What you see so far? And he let the guy say, we need this guy. We need that guy. We need this type of guy. We need this and that. Because last year that didn't happen. We saw him give Telesco a lot of credit for Brock Bowers because Brock Bowers was a top 5 pick. I keep saying this.
Yeah.
It was a quarterback heavy run draft and a couple receivers. Tight end was on everybody's radar at that time. He fell in lap. Now I'll give him credit for getting him because he could have passed up on and got somebody else.
Yeah.
That's why I give him half a credit. But then he did get JPJ. I give him that credit. He did get Glaze. I give him that credit. The rest of the guys after 4 rounds, after the 4th pick, those guys make it and may not. So I give them 2.5 stars. Like in kindergarten, they say, well, you get a gold star, but you don't get half a gold star for doing it right. But now.
Yeah, it's the part of figuring it out because like it is year one. It is Pete's first, season with the guys. So of course it's gonna take some time to hash out everything, but it seems like everything is kind of quiet, like they're working. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, it feels kind of like a good silence though.
And that's why we have no content because it's too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they talk about is Wilkins. I'm tired of talking about Wilkins. They talk about the cornerback now. We need another cornerback. Do we? If they needed one, they would have got another one. I think they're Pete Carroll's a DB coach by trade.
Mm-hmm.
They got the guy Russell Robinson. I can't remember the name. He's a great DB coach. He came from Pittsburgh. I think he's still there.
And you look at Pittsburgh.
If they wanted Jalen Ramsey, if they wanted the other guys everybody kept talking about, if they feel they need him, they would have went and got him because we got the cap space.
Yeah.
I know they got to resign Colton Miller, maybe Kobe Myers. But if they actually think they needed it, they would have went and got him.
Yeah.
Because this regime is no holds bar. No holds bar. We need that, we can go get it.
Yeah.
And
another thing, I feel like they're not grabbing a lot of players right now too, because there's a lot of these guys that we're gonna have to pay once they really start doing some work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but I think grabbing a lot of guys now paying them all this money because teams that got 90, 91 players on your team, and they got cut 38 players. So some of these players will be cut because some of these players might not fit that team's system, like another cornerback might not fit that team's system, but it might work great here. So
you never know.
And like another running back, so you get another running back. Oh, there's a lot of running backs out there that's not gonna make their teams. A lot. So we get a run back.
Yeah, I hope we pick up a couple too.
For our team?
Yeah, just so we'll have some extra legs. Because I'm not too happy with anything past, I guess, McCormick and White, you know what I mean? Or actually McCormick. You know what I mean? Just as far as we just need some youth in that running back room too.
Yeah, Pete Carroll took the USD to our national championship game a few times. Took a major dive when he left. So he has influence on a team itself.
What's up,
he's a great. I'm trying to think of a word. Organizer of men to get the best out of them.
Mm.
You know, he's one of those guys like you go get your new job and you struggling. He'll go there and
Yeah.
pat you on the shoulder like, you know, you can do it, son. I'll watch you. You can do it. And just get you that game. He should talk to you. And he'll say, like, get up, I'll show you how to do it. This is how you do it. And then
You see the biggest thing
he's
was
a teacher. He's a teacher, motivator, and like a daddy to a lot of these guys, especially young guys.
yeah, that's a good one. Now I was gonna say though, you know, with the whole thing with the new coach and everything, how Jason was saying earlier, you know, it's the first year, you guys got to get rolling. Well, the main thing is always the coach and the quarterback. But now we got a coach that's been with this quarterback with a new team, so I feel like it shouldn't really take too long to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I say 10-7. People say, yeah. Somebody got 12-5 out of it. That'd be nice. I'm
Yeah,
with that too.
I think Rebel
You
had
know.
12-5.
While
Yeah,
while
12-5.
we were talking, I was just kind of curious of Pete Carroll's record against Vrabel,
Salute,
and,
yep.
and of course, 1-1. So he did even, but it's crazy because you know that's the coaching, you know, battle right there. Pete Carroll and Vrabel. Who do we trust more?
Pete.
Well, they both first years. Well,
Yeah, I realized too though.
well,
Pete
Baker
Carroll,
he was the head coach of Tennessee, and they were doing well before they fired him, which that still baffles the mind why they fired him. But I'm saying inside job.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted Baker to come here before I heard about Pete Carroll, and then Ben Johnson. I be honest with you, I didn't want Ben Johnson. If
yeah,
it
those
came
guys are
to
risky. They're risky.
if it become offensive coordinator, fine, I'm good with that. But the head coach is first time. We already experienced that first time head coach. Then he might do great in Chicago. We don't know yet. We'll see. But we've been in the dumps too long to test the market out. You know, you don't sit there and test drive Mercedes Benz and BMWs and all these fancy cars. They going and buying a cheap car from a used car lot that has three tires and one is bald. You know, you don't do all that. You get that car right away.
Yeah, I'd say I mean, I don't know, man. I trust more in Pete. You know, Pete's like one of 5 or 4 coaches that's won a championship in college and a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that dude has experience, bro. You know what I mean? That like he's one of them guys, bro. He's an OG in the game.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson, another guy from Dallas. You know, Miami down Dallas. Yeah. So there's a couple other guys that did that.
Yeah, I think he's like one of like 4 or 5. Like, there's not a lot of coaches that's really done shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that not only win championships, but completely turned the team around is what he did.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, I'm a USC fan. I remember back in the day before Pete Carroll got there, I forgot the guy. They had there's a store market right around the corner from the Coliseum where they played at. You can go buy USC tickets there. When you buy your beer, you go buy tickets for the game. That's how bad they were.
Mm.
But then Pete Carroll come the first year they went to a bowl game. The second year they in the national championship game. You couldn't even buy the ask, hey, can you get a ticket to the game? Hey, no, not here. You gotta go to USC. You gotta go to USC ticket office to get game because you know there's too many. You know, and that's what he did. He turned the whole city around because those years we didn't have a pro team. The Ravens were gone. The Lambs were gone. You know, they didn't care about the Lambs.
What said Lloyd Banks? They said Lloyd Banks. Beamer Benz and Bentley.
Nigga, OG down there said I just want to beat McDumbass week 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Huh? Oh, we're not. That's not going to happen.
Losing them to McDumbass week 1?
It's not. It can't happen. That's what I said. This is a must win. This is a circle that damn calendar. Must win by any means. Break my neck getting into the end zone. I'll die on this field before I lose to this team type attitude.
I totally disagree. It's not a must win. It'd be a great win. The must wins the game 2 is a must win. Yeah. That's a home opener against our divisional rival. That's a must win. That's to set the stage for the division. Let them know. That's the game to win. They can win that game. Great. They just win it. be 1-0. But the game we have to win to set the stage for the season is game 2. Game
Chris,
2 against Chargers at home. That's
Chris,
what we
Yeah.
get to stage.
I'm a counter you, Chris, on that
I
because
don't know.
this is going to be the game to make our home opener so beastly. Like if we handle our business, we come into our home opener 1-0, spank them Chargers. That's what I say. If we start off 2-0, we playoff bound. You know what I'm saying? That's how important this both these games. Like you are right, game 2, but we have to win game 1 because it looks good. Like we should, and we should, but we have to smack the Patriots, smack the Chargers. If we want the playoffs to have a chance, we have to be 2-0. Have to start off 2-0. No more of this 1-3 and 0-3 and 1-4 and all. We can't. Our team ain't built like that. We have to win now. We got to sneak any win that we can get. You know what I mean? So we can't. We're not asking. We taking.
I can say not. I can say it is a win we have to get. I'm not saying it's not a most important win because you got to remember there'll be 32 teams playing that game that first week. There's gonna be 16 teams that are 0-1 and 16 gonna be 1-0. No means you can't come back from 0-1. Look what happened to us. We was one big Baltimore. What happened? We came home and crapped the bed at a home opener against a team that was on paper weaker than us. We crapped the bed. So I'm saying that it didn't want a division game. It was an out division game. It was out of conference game. It was an NFC team. I'm just saying this. We beat the Patriots. Oh yeah, great, goddamn good. We're on a good start. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying we shouldn't. We ought to win a game. Yeah, I think we should win that game. I'm saying it's not a must win. The must win is against the divisional rivals to get that 1-0 in the division to get the season started. Let everybody know, like shit. No, we're not a stepping stone no more. We're not the clowns in the NFL no more. We can beat you because Harbaugh's already talking crap about the Raiders right now.
Where's he at? Say it to my face.
Well, this is my thing.
I'm saying right now, we if draws come here think they're gonna win. No, we just pointing right the ass out the stadium, and then let them know like, yeah, let's try it again. We'll come see you guys again at your house. We're gonna do the same thing at your house, and Kansas City and let the Broncos know like we ain't fucking around no more. Excuse my language. We ain't fucking around no more. This is the new team. This is what we're gonna do to you. That sets a statement for the rest of the division and the NFL. Because last year, we got smoked by all the division. That's the most important game. Well, in my opinion, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
The Patriots game is important, but go on one. Some teams win. A few teams win like start the season 1-3, made the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I just say because it's an AFC opponent, and down the line when this becomes playoff time, we're gonna have those AFC wins. You know what I'm saying? Like to those tiebreakers to get in the playoffs, we need everything in the AFC, and we need it all. You know what I mean? But yeah, I know you are right though. But I'm just saying, like that's why I won is because it's an AFC win, and I hate when it comes at the last games of the season where we need this team to win and we need this other team to tie, and then that way we can handle our own business, like taking it personal against the AFC.
I get that. I get that. Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, that's a valid point. I get that. But I said, we have to get our division squared away first before anything else. We have to make sure that we can't go 0-6 in division. I don't want to go 3-3. I want to go 4-2. I want to go 4 division that way because the playoffs, a playoff run. If it's a tie division, it goes by divisional wins. Then it goes by conference wins. So that game is important for the Patriots. I agree. But like I said, if they go and make a good showing, if it comes out to like last minute field goal, the Patriots win. But we played some bitches tough. They were panicking.
So my thing is, when we look at the season though, those first 3 games are really big. Those first 3 games are going to tell us a lot about our team because the first game we play the Pats, obvious, like you got to win that team, right? If you lose to that team, I mean, what the fuck? Second game's division that you have to win that, and then that third game is the Commanders, bro. And if we can beat the Commanders, dude, that's gonna say a lot about this team. You know what I mean? So those 3 games I think are going to be very big for us. First
The
3.
Commanders gonna be a good game.
They are.
You gotta go there and travel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so much worried about them as much as worried about the other teams. Like I said, I'm more worried about our division. If we can't come in second place on the division at least minimum, because Kansas City's a favorite to win it all when they win the division and
Yeah.
go Super Bowl again. As always, until somebody take about their high horse.
Mm-hmm.
We can't win our division again. How are we gonna beat everybody else? Because I remember a point in time we were 6-0 division, didn't make the playoffs. Know why? We beat our division now, but we couldn't beat everybody else. So your point is right,
Yeah.
Jason. I agree with that. But the point is, I'm saying that will set the tone for the rest of the season. That'll get the players like, yeah, we can beat anybody. If you go lose the Patriots 35-6, then you come home and you're like you're down yourself, and then you get stumped by the Chargers. We're not going anywhere. But if we lose the Patriots, like a close game, if we lose, if in a close game that was a tough fought game, they're still gonna be like, okay, we could have had it, but they panic at the last minute field goal. Yeah, all right, fine. But then we come home and say, you know what? We were in front of our crowd, our home, wearing our black jerseys. We're not gonna lose to the Chargers and their powder blue crap. No.
I mean, that division is stacked. That division, every team is really going to have to battle for those first 2 spots, I feel like. Just look at the coaches around, those are all legendary coaches. Look at the quarterbacks we're playing against. And even look at all the, look at the running backs we got to play against too. Especially the Chargers. I mean, man, Chargers I think they're going to be a team to look out for.
Yeah.
Me personally, just from what I've seen, I don't think the Chiefs are going to go number 1 again though.
Mm-mm.
I just don't think they got it in them. I mean, they're like you said, Chris, they're favored, but I don't see I don't know, man. I just feel like the Chiefs are figured out. You know what I mean? I feel like we got their number. Other teams got their number already.
But we had the number last year. Like I said,
and we should have beaten that last game. You know what I mean? If what the fuck's the punter's name again? I got so many names in my head.
AJ Cole.
If AJ Cole would have hit those, he missed 3 or 4 of them that game.
Oh, you talking about Carl Carlson?
But you know what? We should depend on the field kicker to kick 4 field goals in the game. We should depend on that.
No,
okay?
I hear you.
That's another thing. We gave the Eagles a blueprint how to beat the Chiefs. That's it. Because if you watch the Chiefs in the regular game, then you watch the Eagles in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, it is exactly what we did. Push up that middle, keep Mahomes contained in that pocket. That's exactly what they did. They took it from us, so we know how to beat them. I know they got more weapons, they draft whatever, but we know how to beat them. And Patrick Graham's the same defensive coordinator, and he probably tell Pete Carroll, "I know what to do with these guys." But now we got more offensive firepower than we had last year. It's like bad coaching, didn't do it right because in a way we should be kicking 4 field goals in a game.
Yeah.
You
shouldn't have to. But I mean, when it comes down to it, a win's a win.
A field goal to me, a field goal is like, yeah, we couldn't get it in because the guy dropped the ball or something happened or we got sacked or a penalty, stupid penalty. Yeah, okay, well, we're in field goal range. Kick it to pad the score. Now, instead of being 14-10, now we're 17-10. That's what me the field goal is. They put the points on the board to pad the score up. So that means the team has to score twice to beat us. Field goals are good to win the game. Like last minute, like, okay, we're down by 2. Field goal wins it. Okay, let's do that. Or overtime.
Is that what kind of season you guys feel it's going to be? One of those where we're tight games and it's just a battle between field goals?
I think for the divisional games, I think they're going to be all really close games through everybody. But as far as regular season games, man, I feel looking at the team and coaches compared to other coaches and teams, I feel like we got like not being biased or anything, but I feel like we're a step ahead, bro, when it comes to coaches and everything.
Yeah.
Tony
Sheffield. No one's stacked up.
Hold on. Yeah, Tony Sheffield. You're right. We have 1 game 5 field goals. I'm not saying that we can't win. You can win a game on 1 field goal. Give me a 3-0 like Minnesota did last year. I'm not saying that's not good, but we shouldn't have to depend on that to win. That's what I'm saying. We should
Exactly.
we get in the red zone, get close. We should be scoring touchdowns. I'm not saying we could win on 8 field goals. I'm cool with that. A win's a win. I don't care how we win. But I'm saying we shouldn't have to rely on the field goals. We should be punching that ball in the end zone. We should be like, if we on a 20-yard line, we should be getting the ball in the end zone. If we're on a 3-yard line, we should be kicking no damn field goal. No, I know, Tom. I know. We want, especially when we had a Seabass. We want a lot of games with Seabass. I don't know.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I got that. I got that, Tony. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, but we shouldn't have to depend on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
If you got to put on your field goal kicker to win the game, bro, you're not. I mean,
Well,
certain situations,
hey, but look at Brady though. Like, remember Brady when he was coming up? Like, all he was doing was getting them in position, and Vinatieri was putting them in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I said. If it comes down to a field goal, you know what I'm saying? We just, because our thing is we've been down like 2 points or a point, and just couldn't get the damn ball down the field. Like, we couldn't, So I think that's what's gonna change. But I do feel in this division, though, we're going to beat the hell out of each other. It's going to be kind of like the Steelers and the Ravens division. We're just going to be, and it's going to be one of those close ones. And I feel like it might be how they were, where I think the Bengals, the Browns, and them all, pretty much everybody almost, well, except for the Bengals, but the Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens, were pretty much in there. And I think this year it flops to us because I don't think the Browns are going to, do anything this year. But yeah, it could be all three of us getting into the with the Chiefs, Chargers, and Raiders. So I hope that happens.
It's gonna be tough. Even watch out for the Broncos too, man. The Broncos, they're doing something.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. This division is stacked, bro. When you look at it, it's gonna be nitty gritty every game when it comes to divisional games, I think.
Yep. I forgot who got Trey Harris. Was that Chargers?
Let me comment this right quick. Ray Rebel. Okay, yeah, he had 5 interceptions in the red zone last year. Well, you know what? Like I said, the Seattle offensive line was actually worse than ours. Worse than our offensive line last year. The dude, I watched some of the game highlights. He was running for his life. And he tried to get the ball in the best way he could. He had no running game. He had nothing. He basically had what we had last year, but worse. Seattle. So this is going to be different. The offensive line going to be different. They got a running back, 2 running backs, maybe 3. Better offensive line, better center. You got the phenomenal tight end. You got a receiver that's 6'5". You can never see a 6'6". I don't think gonna make the team without Collins. So his chances are better now this year with the Raiders. Everybody talking about he had 15 interceptions last year. Yeah, he had no choice. He was running around like Minshew was.
Yeah. And he's reuniting with Pete Carroll.
The offensive line is worse than ours.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Pete Carroll though,
Yeah, now he's back with Pete. And he's back, and he's with Chip now, new addition.
Right. And so it's going to be different. There's going to be a lot of difference. So that was last year's stats with the Seattle. But when Pete was there, he was balling.
See, and this is my thing with Pete, is when we look at how Pete went and won that Super Bowl, he had a great defense and he had a decent offense. And you know what I mean? When you look at how that team was built, that Seattle team, how it was built, that kind of resembles the team Pete is building here, with Marshawn Lynch, bringing in Ashton, Geno Smith. Like, Russell Wilson wasn't the greatest quarterback when they won that Super Bowl.
But he did the same thing with the USC. He built that same way. He had his thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
Lindo White and Reggie Bush.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he built it. He has power running back. He had his swift running back. He had good receivers. He had a decent quarterback who would get the ball and didn't make too many mistakes. He had a good defense. So that's exactly he built Seattle just like he built USC. And people are saying, "Oh, this is going to be like when they brought McDermott in. Oh, this is the Las Vegas Patriots." Yeah, pretty much that's what they were doing. And now they're saying, "Oh, this is the Las Vegas Seahawks." You know what? I rather play like Seattle to get to the playoffs most of the years and get to a Super Bowl than going 4-13. I'll take it any day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like our team is kind of resembling what he did in Seattle. Maybe not exactly this year, but you know what I mean? He has that same kind of mindset. Especially when we look at those linebackers we grabbed, bro. We grabbed Pratt, E-Rob, and Devin White. I mean, hopefully them guys, they can lock down some shit and help out with the youth that's there. Because when those guys can't play forever, so when those guys are out, man, next man up, like these guys got to be in shape. They got to know the game. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping those OGs that we grabbed in the linebacker room can really, really affect a lot of the young guys we got.
Well, all teams play like the personnel of their head coach. Look at the Patriots, Belichick. That was his person. That was his personnel. That was his, him. They reflect off of that. The team goes off the coach, whether the coach is fired up or not. If the coach fired up, team is fired up. If the coach is blah blah blah, they're gonna be blah 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 too. So they take the what word I'm looking for? Personality from the head coach. Okay, so if Pete Carroll's personality rubs off on the team the right way, we have a great team. We have a great team next year, this season. And like I said, it takes time. It's going to take, because they're going to say, okay, we played well, but what do we need next year? We're missing a few pieces. That's when they go to free agency. That's when they go to draft.
So
yeah.
Raider Nation said, let me ask why, without seeing them on the field yet. Why would any of us think they are going to destroy any team? Of course, it will be by field goals. This is year one. Let's be realistic and enjoy.
You guys misconceived what I was saying. It could be about field goals. It could be about goddamn safety. It doesn't matter. Wins a win. I've been saying we should have to rely on field goals to win a game. That's all I'm saying. Why you guys miss your words? Yeah, like I said, they can kick 9 field goals in one game and win. I'm fine with that. Wins a win. I'm just saying, in that Kansas City game, everybody's getting a case on a field goal kicker. Yeah, he did miss some field goals. Yeah, it happens. But I'm just saying, though, when we're down close to the thing, we should be punching the ball in. That's what I'm looking at. Get in the end zone. But if it takes field goals because of weather, climate, and all that stuff, fine. I'm fine with that. But we shouldn't have to rely on that.
Yeah, if you're relying on your field goal kicker, then obviously your offense isn't doing what they need to do to get touchdowns.
Thank you, Chewy. That's what I was saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't care.
It's like in basketball. Like, would you rather have, you know what I mean? Twos and threes, like, you know what I mean? 3 or 7, you know what I mean?
All right.
That part.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, it is good to have those field goal kickers in there that, you know what I mean? Like Janikowski, bro, we could put him deep, and we know he's hitting that shit in there. There's no doubt about it. So I mean, that's kind of a little cushion, I guess, for the offense to have. You know what I mean? When you do have a good kicker, but like you said, Chris, I wouldn't want to lean on my kicker to win.
I wouldn't rely on that. OG, yeah. I got your back on that, brother. I said the exact same thing.
That's tough.
We're going to, I don't know, destroy the Eagles, but we might win that game. Come back and lose the Titans. The Titans, I don't know. I'm saying though, that Titan game scares me more than any other game this season. That's one of the games like we shouldn't win on paper, but they're going to lose to them for some reason. I just feel that. There's like that's one of the games I'm scared of. Not scared of, but like worried
last year.
And it's gonna be Levis. It won't even be what's his name. It'll be Levis, and come out and blow us out.
Who, Cam Ward?
Yeah, it won't even be Cam Ward. It'll be just somehow, some way. It'll be Levis, and then be like, oh, we got this, and then we get blew back by 7 touchdowns by Levis.
Look, last year we went and beat the Ravens, and then we lost to the Panthers.
Yeah,
back to back. Like, man,
our boy, and old Dalton.
But that's what happens, when you got rookies in there, rookie head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You go and beat the Ravens and lose to the fucking Panthers. Like, come on.
Yeah. And this will be different because we, like Alpha One said it earlier, we are better, we have a better coaching staff. So better coaches produce better players, So we good.
Yeah, it's good. The players take the personality of the coach. Like I said, y'all seen the videos. What other head coaches out there wrestling their players and pin them down to the ground and running with them? You don't see too many coaches do that. Pete
And
Carroll
he's
is
74.
yeah. Well, he's not. He's like 40.
He looks like he's 40, huh?
He acts like he's 40. But that's what
Who?
keeps him young. That's why he came back. I think Pete Carroll didn't come back as coach, and he probably was just withered away. That's why he came back. He took a year off. He said, "I'm going back. This is my passion. This when the man has that much passion about football, because he's been in the football business for years. He's a play. He's be a D back at Pacific University. Jason Norad said, right?
Yeah, a little
In
bit.
Stockton, it's up there by Stockton. They used to
Okay.
have a football team back in the day. They don't have one now. It's basketball. He used to be a
Yeah.
DB for them back in the day when they had a football team.
Tony Sheffer said, let me see. He said, "Do you guys re-sign Carlson now? I'm good with it. Would you guys re-sign him now?"
Well, he's fine now. He got a good contract. He hasn't re-signed yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys sign Carson now? Nah, they can wait. They can wait on that.
Yeah, especially last year, he got to prove his point again because he kind of last year he kind of stumbled a little bit.
Yeah,
That
I
was
felt
the
like
shit.
we didn't put him out there enough last year. I think that was
Yeah,
was it
exactly.
last year or the year before? But
It
I
was
was just
last year.
yeah, I was gonna say because we were maybe we just been used to him being the game winner or whatever for us. But
Yeah,
yeah, it just seemed like last year was like he should have been out there more because there was times we went for it with Pierce and like just
Didn't get it.
we could have kicked a field goal, and then
Yep.
I guess he thought we weren't going to get the ball again, and the defense ended up getting it back, and then
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna take like 4th and 2, 4th and 3. Like we have field goal range, although we down with 11 points.
yeah
Kick that field goal anyway. Get the
yeah.
points. We
Then you
still
can
have
get
time
a
because defense
2-point
didn't play
conversion.
bad. They played that bad last year.
Mm,
For that they can run the score because the teams didn't blow us out, but the Carolina Panthers one when they really blew us out
yeah.
the gates. A lot of teams didn't really blow us out, and we were
Yeah.
there, but just could get the points.
2 cents. Salute, brother.
Yeah, 2 cents.
What's up, fellas? Welcome to the chat. Let's see here. What we got? Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to the season. My expectation not as high as I was when I hired AP, but I can see the direction we going in. It looks good. You know what? If they win 8 games, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If they win 10
Well,
games, I'm great with that. If they win 12 fucking games, I'm throwing a party for everybody.
that's right.
I'm
Where's it at? Where's it at? Where you from? Where you guys from again?
gonna tell you till they win 12 games.
What street you live on, bro? I need some barbecue.
I'm not gonna tell you that till they win 12 games. They would if they're 11-5 and they win that last game against the Queeps, I'll put my mattress out there. I'll throw a big barbecue.
Because I'm coming.
It's been a
No,
while, man, since we've seen some greatness like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, even going to the playoffs with Carr, I mean, that was kind of exciting. But you know what I mean? We didn't. You guys seen we lost to the fucking Bengals.
yeah, but we were in that. You know what I'm saying? We were in.
Yeah.
Remember that the janky call and all. You know what I'm saying? It was so much. And then they didn't do anything with it either. So
And that year that we lost to the Bengals, they ended up going to the Super Bowl that year.
Mm-hmm. And
I
lost.
was kind of like, I guess, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
And that's crazy. That was Joe Burrow's chance right there to get it.
Yeah, it was.
Done.
And it seems like Joe Burrow, he's been stuttering ever since.
Yeah.
They haven't really. I mean, it's not really him. He's a great. It's that team that they had over there.
Yeah, I've been asking for Joe.
Something wasn't clicking over there.
He'll be a Raider before it's over.
That's why I like even Pratt, bro. Picking up Pratt. I mean, that defense that they had was kind of sorry, but when you really sit down and diagnose Pratt how he played, bro, I mean, I think he was a great pickup, especially for the price we got him for. I mean,
yeah.
Because right now we don't need to sign big names for fucking top dollar contracts, so where we can't afford to repay anybody or extend anybody, or you know what I mean. So that's why I feel like this team we got, and even with the front office, man, they look a whole lot smarter. You know what I mean? Just the way they're moving, how things are getting made. I mean, I don't see us staying at 4 or 5 wins this year at all.
No, and you know how we're asking for like a veteran DB right now. You know
Yeah.
what's gonna make up for that is our linebacking core. You know, by them being veterans, by them being, you know what I mean, because they're
Yeah.
going to be able to kind of fill that gap and hopefully fill the gaps and stop some of these, you know, because I know we got a lot of this is the best linebacker core I've seen
Yeah.
in quite some time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool to see because that means we get hopefully that we're stopping the run and that we're not getting blew up in the flat.
Well, I did a video, and all three of those linebackers that we have, E-Rob, Pratt, and Devin White, they've all been to a Super Bowl. The only one who hasn't won a Super Bowl was Jermaine Pratt. So I mean that you know what I mean. Those guys been in big games. They know how to handle themselves. You know they know what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean you look at the linebacker core we got, bro. That shit is stacked. Even when you look at the second guys, you know the second strings and all that.
Yeah, that's what makes me wonder what Pete and them see in our secondary that they're not going for the vet. So I mean, it might be a good thing. They might have faith in this group, which is good. You know, they probably have more faith than we do.
Hey,
But
well, hey, what's going on, Angelo? How you doing? Yeah,
and they did address the linebacking core. That was something that we've been asking for. So, like I said, it makes me curious of like why they haven't kind of went out there for DB help because maybe we already have it and we don't even know it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was weird. We didn't really get nothing out of what happened with Shaquille Griffin either. So
hey, Ray Nation, thanks for joining us, man. Have a good day, brother. Appreciate it.
take care, bro.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, thanks, Angelo.
I
Yeah,
mean, we know Porter. He should be all right.
You gotta look at one thing. You gotta look at one thing. So I've been a fan for years. You gotta look at one thing. We play players these big contracts to perform. We gotta stop doing that. Like I said, if they want Jalen Ramsey, wait, let me finish you. If they want Jalen Ramsey, if they really want him, they thought they need him, they go out and get him. You know, Miami want to trade for him. Like you're not getting a third round pick. We'll give you this, a fifth round pick, and everything else. So you got to absorb some of that contract. If you want to get rid of him, if we give you a pick, we'll give you a fifth or sixth round pick, and we'll take half that contract off you if they wanted him. Or they might just wait till they cut him. Like I said, if they think they need him, then fine. Because I'll tell you one thing. We don't need to sign that other guy that signed that one that I forgot who it was. It came from Green Bay.
Like
That was always Zaire. If they want him, they'd have picked him up too. They didn't. They got one guy they got stoked from. They say he's more valuable than this guy. We'll take him. So all this talk about Jalen Ramsey, I'm fine if they get him. But if they really want him, they'll go sign him.
Yeah.
We got enough cap space. $10 million not gonna kill us. No, we can restructure contracts and stuff like that if we need to. But the thing is playing these players these big time contracts for 1 or 2 years. And then 2 years down the road, we have no money and they're gone. That makes no sense. We've been doing that for too many damn years. We got to stop doing that. See, signing these players, they're not young, they're older. But what they're doing is they're setting a tone for these younger players to come in and learn behind these veterans for 1 or 2 years. So they're next man up. That's what they're doing. That's what I see they're doing. Anyway, I'm not saying that is what they're doing. But I'm cool with what they're doing. You know, we need this, we need that. Yeah, we're content curators. We're the fans. We don't know what goes inside the office. We know what they're looking at, what they see. Nobody's a football expert outside the people in the building. We're all couch GMs. So they see something. They see that Damian Porter they signed. They see something here, like, you know what? You know, the Cameron Richardson, they might see something in him. They let go a few guys that the other regime drafted because they said, nah, he's not going to fit what we want to do.
Yeah.
They don't want just players because of what he did last year. They want players that did that fits the system that they about to run. That's why they got Roberts. And like I said, playing, everybody was playing. Yeah, I want to keep him back. I want to keep him, but they probably offered him a contract. But New England Patriots said we give you more money.
Yeah.
You're a guy, yeah. I love it here, but you know what? Bye. I'm getting paid more over here.
Yeah.
We don't know what they offer. Nothing ever came out. But then again, say, well, we're gonna pay you this because you kind of fit our system, kind of not. You know, we'll give you this, but you know,
Yeah, he was undersized too for what Pete Carroll likes. You know what I mean? Too in this, because you
yeah,
know he was a little undersized, but for us he was, you know, I guess the best backer we had. But now, I mean, I'm like, who? But who?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, where did Roberts come from? What team he played for?
Pats.
New England,
Roberts came from Pittsburgh, dude. What are you talking
No,
Steelers,
well, his Robert's
Miami,
career basically was in he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Yeah, but what his last team he played for? Where did he come from? Steelers.
Yeah,
Miami, or was it
Pittsburgh.
Steelers? Yeah, Steelers,
Steelers.
Yeah,
And where did Slang come from?
Steelers.
Okay. The Steelers know how to run defense. They know how to play defense. So we got two linebackers from the Steelers in the past couple of years that know how to play defense. I'm fine with it. He's a run stopper. He's a beast. Then he signed on, like you said, Pratt. We'll see how he does. Devin White's he's a veteran. I don't expect him to be the leading tackler and all that stuff in the league, but he's a veteran. He will teach these young linebackers that we got in the room this is what you need to do. Pete Carroll is all about teaching football, not playing it. You see what I'm saying? Let's teach the game of football, the basics, the knowledge of it. It's not just anybody. Look, me, Jason, and you, Chewy, we can go out there and play a game of football. Don't mean we know about it, but we know how to throw the ball and run.
Yeah,
That's childish crap. Just childish stuff. Play street ball back when we were kids. But actually, to play the game and the knowledge and accuracy of it, that's what Pete Carroll's doing. He's teaching these guys how to play, how to learn football. He's a
yeah.
teacher more than a head coach.
And those three linebackers, they're great guys to learn from. Like I said, they've all been to Super Bowls. The only one who hasn't won one was Pratt. But you know, what I mean, when you get guys who've been to games like that, that's a good experience for especially those young guys, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, then they're asking these questions like, man, what does it feel like to get to the Super Bowl? Like, hey, E-Rob, what does it feel like to win? You know what I mean? And I'm sure when E-Rob and them guys come in, they don't want to come and lose. You know what I mean? They don't want to come. Yeah, that's why I feel like those three linebackers we grabbed, those are going to be a real big factor when it comes to our next linebackers coming up to play.
Exactly. But they also not going to teach them how. The young guys going to ask how it felt like. They're going to ask him. They're going to see him like Rob will say, "You're good. You're athletic. You're big, but your technique is a little off. In order to do better, this is what you need to do." You know what I'm saying? He's gonna teach them those small things. You know, people say like football. Oh, I forget who said that. I can't remember. Football is 10% physical, 90% mental. It's all up here. You know, you can be the biggest athlete, the fastest athlete. Don't mean you can play football. But you can be a little smaller guy, like some of the linebackers say you're undersized. Yeah, they're undersized, but they got this right here.
Look at Tyree Wilson.
They got that dog in them.
Well,
Tyree
they
Wilson,
got
big dude.
that mentality.
Yeah.
When I think of linebacker, I think of Ray Lewis. You know what I mean? Like that was the standard. That was, you know what I mean? Like I wish we had somebody, you know, of that type caliber. Cause like it was not just his size, but his mentals and his just like just a dog, bro. Like somebody that you know what I'm saying? You really gotta we'll give you the bubble guts if you about to, you know what I mean, face that man 20, 30 times up in the, you know what I mean, in the hole. So dog, man.
Hey, what's up, on six, man? Welcome to the thing. I just saw it. I was looking. I was going my rant, so I didn't really pay attention. But what's up, on six? How you doing, brother?
Yes, sir.
So, but you know, the defense was good it was decent last year. I'm gonna say good. They were decent last year, but now it's gonna be even better because, like I said, everybody's worrying about corner. I'm worried about cornerbacks too. Of course, I am. But like Jason said, if you got the linebackers there, and you got the defensive line that's pressure the quarterbacks. The cornerbacks can be like Jeff said a while back, it can be second rate because they ain't got to worry about it because they can get sacks or throwing the ball out of bounds or getting the ball tipped, the line of scrimmage, getting interceptions. So as long as that front line, that front seven, can hold up, a front six, wherever they run, can pressure the quarterback, stop that run. The cornerback should have, the safety, the D-back should have an easier time. But if you let the quarterback sit there for 10 seconds, like actually sit back there running around, they're going to get open.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because you only stay with one guy so long.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping these linebackers can kind of, help these guys out because they got experience, they got the time of playing the game, so they know where the holes are, they know where the gaps are, and all that experience, they'll be able to communicate to each other because they've seen it all. Like I said, these guys were the guys on their respective teams. These were the dogs on the other side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is do you feel the linebackers will have to work harder since Wilkins is out and there won't be as much pressure, or do you feel like the line will step up and do what it needs to do?
I'm not worried about Wilkins.
Okay, so then who do you see filling in the shoes for him?
Nobody can fill Wilkins' shoes. Wilkins is a different player.
Yeah.
Remember now, we only had Wilkins for 5 games last year, and defense line did okay.
Yeah.
Adam Butler was there. Then we had a couple other guys over there, but now they picked up a couple of guys in the free agency. Wilkins, if my feelings about Wilkins, if his foot that bad, if he can't come back 100% or at least 90% on like game 7, you can sit the rest of the year and let him heal properly. Then also restructure his contract. Say, okay, you didn't play last year, dude. I'm not going to pay all this money. We're going to restructure his contract. We'll give you extra year, but we're going to cut it down some. The plus that salary guy's going up next year. So let him sit for a year. All right. And then that way you can develop the young tax like Pegas and what's the other guy? Tonka. That way they can develop.
But do we think Adam or whatchamacallit is going to be a force?
Adam Butler?
Yeah. Do we see him being, like that's because I think that's what he's getting.
You lucky 805 is not in here, boy. If you say that, 805 was in here, you're like, what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he gonna be dominant? Like, is he gonna be, like a beast, like and get, generate some sacks, some pressure, but I felt like he complimented Wilkins. Like what Wilkins was getting doubled and tripled, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like he was able to kind of just pretty much get his one-on-ones and be productive. But like as the main guy, I'm not sure what that would look like.
I still don't get why people think a defensive tackle supposed to get a lot of sacks. That's not their job.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the pressures, but I'm saying like, but we can't have him having no sack. Not the capability to not. I'm not saying he's not capable, but I'm saying like, his thing is to get the pressures, but it's actually just if he's not gonna get a lot of sacks, yes, get the pressures, but
it just
it
depends on the play.
His job mainly secure the offensive line, clog the holes up, pressure up the middle. It's not he gets sacks is a bonus. He's not like Sam Donald like he was on Rams. He was a unique guy. That's not he's not Chris Jones. His job is to eat the blocks, plug that hole up for the run, and keep the quarterback from step up in the pocket. If he gets 6-8 sacks next year, that's a bonus. I'm happy with that. That's a bonus.
Definitely.
His job is not dedicated to getting sacks. That's what the 2 guys on the edge are supposed to do. They're supposed to get all the sacks. But if he gets, like I said, get sacks, fine. His job is to eat the blocks. So that way Crosby and what's his name on the other side, Kuntz, can that go one-on-one. That's his job. Eat up blocks, keep the running back from running up the middle, and get pressure up the middle too. So his quarterback can step in the pot because if he can't step up, he can't see anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, if he gets 5 to 6, 8 sacks, bonus.
Yeah, like who pressures Mahomes though? Like if Mahomes doesn't have that pressure coming up his middle, he's just gonna pick us apart. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I get it. Like, but I'm saying like if when Wilkins and him there, it was different because Wilkins was the lead, and then he was just he was Robin, but now he's forced to be Batman now. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like, are we gonna get? I know we're not going to get the same production, but man, do we need to bring somebody in?
They already did. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Did you see what they did in the draft? Did you see them do free agencies? They are expected that's going to happen. You know, they got that guy from the Cardinals. What's his name? This
Fotu. Lecky Fotu.
Yeah, they got Lucky Fotu. He's a big guy. They drafted 2 defensive tackles. They didn't have to because we had Williams. We didn't need to, but they did.
They knew
They
it.
got guys in there they knew what Williams they knew about his foot. They're like, shit, he might be out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
So they got guys in it. Nobody can take the place of a certain player. You know, you're gonna have players that play the same position, but not gonna take the place of what they do. Everybody has a different skill set. They do the same thing, but there are different skill sets that they do and how they do it.
Yeah.
That's why, okay, we didn't have Wilkins for 12 games last year. Defense still did okay. Yeah, guys coming in. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. You got some guys that came in, they drafted and free agencies who I think were better than what we had last year. You get my point? You know, you got 2 rookies who're going to play behind Butler and Toku, whoever's going to start next to Butler. I don't know yet. Nobody knows yet. But I'm not worried about that. I would love Wilkins to be in there. Would love Wilkins
don't forget about Jonah Lawler.
But like I said, I'm not gonna put Wilkins in there and pay that man that much money and he's not 100%. He goes in and he's out the rest of his career. No. If he's not 90% by the game 7, just have to sit his ass down, take a chill pill, and don't do nothing stupid.
Stop celebrating.
What's up, Nutty Ray?
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying though. So
we do have some depth though. When Lalu, he did his thing last year. I know, you know what I mean. He, especially towards the tail end, he really showed us some things
that's
that he
what
could
I'm
do.
Yeah, fellas, I hope so. I hope so. It's just I'm looking at it, I hope they do step up. I hope, they can.
Looking at half empty or half full?
I mean, I say half full. Always half full. It's just kind of it was just looking at it as a whole, you know what I mean? Because if you think about it, yeah, it's gonna be Butler, but we don't know who's gonna be the guy yet on the other side of him.
They're gonna rotate guys out.
Yeah.
And that's beauty of what they did. They got some rotational pieces where they don't have to play all these downs. You get situational defensive tackles that come in. You got some guys that are great pass rushers. You got some guys that are great run stoppers on defensive line. So they can pick and choose. Like, hey, this is gonna be a running play. Let's put Pagan or what's the other guy Tonka in there because that Tonka dude ain't no little guy.
He's big.
Yeah, he is. So they go on the goal line. They got the goal line packages. These guys are all like going to the butcher, man. We see half a cow sitting there. Like, damn, this guy's huge. So, I want Wilkins to play, but I want to make sure he's 100%, not 90, not 80, 100%. We're ready to go.
Especially with that kind of injury too, like it's something you don't want to rush back because then it's just gonna linger, and then it's just gonna be year 3 still talking about the same injury.
And you're not playing full potential when you're injured.
Well,
Max Crosby,
wait, hold on. I was really, what you gonna say? Trust me, Anthony Chain Booker will make the 15 round. We are 350 nose tackle. Hey, we'll see. All right, sorry, go ahead.
That's big. That's a big nose tackle. Shit.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
That boy can fill some holes up.
Hell yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm not concerned about that. It's really nothing to talk about but that and then cornerback Jalen Ramsey. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I trust in Pete Carroll. Spytek this is his first time being a GM. You think he's gonna mess up everything new? Because if he works out and he decides to go somewhere else, he have a good resume. But you got to remember, he's been doing this for years. He was always the backup GM, so he saw what other GMs did.
Yeah.
And plus he was a scout, so he's seen players. And then we signed that guy from Philadelphia down, the guy Hunt. He's a chief scout. And we had a show me and Jeff did was a guy talking about, he's gonna wait till the college season. No. Scouts scout everywhere. They scout high school on up to pros. They go to other pro to watch their tape. They're
Shit,
like this guy.
scouts will start in middle school and watch kids from middle school just to watch them follow on to high school and college.
Probably watch from pop with him, you don't know. But I'm
Yeah.
saying that, but he'll scout. We also scout pro guys too. You know, like hey, you know what? This guy might not make the team, or he got cut. Let's look at him. Let's see his tape. You know what? We can bring him in. That's what you guys fail to realize that. Remember, these teams that cut out 33, there's gonna be some players out there that we can use. Yep.
Yeah, we got a lot of depth. I mean, especially all the guys we've been picking up. There's a lot of guys that are going to have to prove their point, prove their spot, and really, especially for those extensions they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Kuntz with because Kuntz he wants the big boy extension. So like he got his a little bit of a bump, but I know he wants that big boy contract.
No,
so I hope he plays on fire.
You never even said in the interview, did you? There are two other teams. I don't know if he mentioned that. The other teams that wanted to pay him more money than we did for a bigger contract, for a longer contract. He said, "No, I want to be here." So he want to try one more time with the Raiders. Because there was two other teams. I don't know. They said his names already. If they did, I don't remember. But look at his interview. There were two other teams that was offering a bigger contract for longer. Probably was the Patriots, no doubt. Or anybody. So he wanted to stay here.
I mean, Kuntz is going to learn a lot from Max Crosby as well. So I mean, I could see why he'd want to stay, especially like you said with the new regime we got. I bet you Adams is like, damn, I should just stayed with the Raiders, man.
Yeah. Well, some teams, like it better. Maybe like it because they have no tax in the state of Nevada. But they have their own reasons to staying and leaving. They're humans like we are. They want to get paid like you want to get paid. They want a better life like we want better lives. So they don't tell them what goes through their mind at the time. Like I said, that's Spillane. We don't know what they offered them. Probably wasn't as much as the Patriots did. So, and what's the other guy that left? Deion Dablo. He went
to Atlanta.
Yeah, he's robbing them. He might turn out great for them. He might not. But I said he's doing like. Well, you know what? Atlanta got two thieves on their team. They got Kirk Cousins, I call him the bank thief, and now they got Diablo. He's a convenience store robber. He robs a convenience store for little bucks. So they got two thieves on their team.
Yeah,
that's crazy. They wanted Diablo. That's funny.
Yeah, he has good points. He has good points and bad points. More bad than good.
Yeah,
but I don't miss him. Good luck.
He was getting trampled every time.
Yeah, because
somebody was breaking the tackle.
Yeah, no more. If they come out of college as that one player, then keep them that one player. Why keep changing their position? The only thing I can see changing maybe wide receiver, maybe, or tight end, fullback. Yeah, I can see that. But stop changing these guys from the one position to an extreme position. You're a free safety. Now you go to the extreme. Free safety. He's a safety. Then he went to linebacker. Come on now.
Yeah,
stop that.
It's crazy.
Like they changed. Well, guard to center, I guess, would be about close. So that's cool. But
yeah, I apologize for Nightbot, y'all. He or she is tripping. You know what I mean? But I appreciate it all. If you get banned, it's not us. It's Nightbot's on one right now.
Oh, is that Myra G?
He's gonna give me a warning for saying Raiders.
I was like, what the hell? I said, it must be a Niner. Someone said it must be a Niner fan.
Yeah, Weiner fan. That's what Myra G said.
Myra G. Salute. Appreciate it. Good morning.
I tell you what, Myra G, I guarantee you next year, if you go make sure, I will see you. I'll look for you first. Like, Myra G.
Just let you know, Chris, Myra G is in the building right now.
Is she?
Yeah. Right here. Right in front of you.
I don't see her.
He said, where?
I don't see her. Yeah, I see her.
Nice.
Ready I wish I could have made it out there to that Bakersfield event. I was looking forward to it, man.
Next year, man, let's all do it again.
Well, I was going to go to it, but they had moved the date back a month before. It was supposed to be in June, but they moved it to May.
Yeah.
May is my daughter's birth. It landed on the same week as my daughter's birthday, so I was like, "Fuck, I ain't going to that." I guess.
Hey, hero, hey, don't knock Margie. Margie can blow some pipes, and she can sing. So yeah. So quiet.
Where are you from again, Jason? You're from Cali, right?
Yeah, from East Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Margie. Take him down, Margie. Take him down. All right.
He really ain't gonna make it.
So, like I said, my prediction is 10-7. I had said 20-0. So I don't know what you guys think.
I said 9-8 when I did my record prediction. I had us at 9-8, but there's 2 games I seen us that we could have won. So I say 9-11 wins this year.
Yeah, because when you say 9 wins, like it could be those, some games where, like I said, we can win by a field goal. We can, and that could turn that into 10-11 quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I told you. That Tennessee game kind of worries me a little bit.
What about the Browns, Jags, and Tennessee. Those are the games we cannot lose.
Yeah, the Jags, I'm not worried about too much. The Browns, they're in turmoil about their quarterback. And see, one thing is good, by the way. One thing is good about the Raiders now. We do not have a quarterback, as they call it, controversy.
Mm-hmm.
For years, like, who's going to be our quarterback? After Carr left, Garoppolo.
AOC.
Or Old Man Hoyer. And then Minshew. And AOC should have started. We know who started. Point blank. The only thing we're about is our backup. Our backup. Who's going to be our backup?
They didn't want to start AOC just based on we had a rookie head coach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like. I feel like then they're gonna look at the Raiders, but you got a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? It's just
he wasn't a rookie. That was the second year. It wasn't that. I don't think it was that. My opinion was this: Telesco and AP didn't get along. I know they didn't. You can tell they didn't. AP signed Minshew to their money, and they went. And of course, ALC's getting peanuts compared to what Minshew was getting. So they said, well, "We're paying the guy. We got to play him."
Yeah.
Because you can see AP's body language. They announced the starting quarterback. He wasn't happy about it. Telesco overruled him. He's like, "I'm a GM, so he's going to start." Getsy probably said the same thing. I want him. So AP basically was not the head coach. He was just a figurehead from what I looked at.
They said, "Shut up, boy." They were like, "Shut up, boy. Just coach."
Yeah, just say on the silent. Say on silent look pretty, man. That's what I got.
Hey, that's funny. I actually agree, Chris. I felt like Telesco went to Mark Davis and was like, "Man, I need get Minshew. I promise you, if you let."
Froze. You there, Chewy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I think Jason just froze out.
Yeah. I know where you're going at that. Him and Getsy, like, yeah, let's get this guy. Yeah, because we did the Colts. Yeah, well, the Colts were different teams than the Raiders were. They had the offensive line and running backs and receivers. We had receivers, but we had all other stuff.
Yeah.
Did I come back?
What's up, Jason? You good?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what were you saying?
No, I was saying, like, I actually agree because I feel like Telesco went to Mark Davis and was like, "Hey, we got to start." Because I feel like it was supposed to be AOC too. I feel like AOC was supposed to start, but Telesco probably went to Mark Davis like, "Hey, I promise you, Minshew, I could get, he can get us to the playoffs, blah, 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 all that good stuff." And then that's why he's gone, because he put his job on the line with that.
Yeah, that's what they figured, because they looked at what he did last year with the Colts after Richardson went down. But like I was saying, but the Colts had a better offensive line than we did. Had 2 good receivers, had a tight end and a running back. We had a tight end. We always got a tight end. Now we had 2 tight ends. We had a good receiver, Devontae and Myers. Didn't have a running back. Offensive line was suspect. So he didn't have the same thing he had to produce. Because Minshew ran into sacks. I'm like, dude, why are you running that way? You run right into a sack.
Yeah.
I wanted to. Yeah.
He's horrible.
Well, he's in a better place with the Kansas City Chiefs, so hope he starts.
Yeah, good luck.
But then one thing about Pete Carroll, From that, I said I watched him a lot in the UFC days, and I'll tell you guys this: he don't care what your rank is, how much. UFC, of course, they ain't get paid what they did, but I don't care. You're a 5-star recruit, and you come in here. If that 2-star recruit is out playing you, guess who's going to start? That 2-star, that's 2-star. If he's out playing you, he start. I'm not here because of your ego trip. Because I'm 5-star, I'll make a start. No, he don't play them games. Pete Carroll does believe in competition. That's why his name's in the word compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like even though Gardner Minshew had more money than AOC, you got to look at who's the better player for the team. Like, fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, just because Minshew had got paid and we need him to play, we paid him, he needs to pay. I mean, that's rookie shit right there.
Yeah, we see ALC get AP the job basically almost. There was like one game away from the playoffs. It's that one game against the Vikings that we should have won, but we didn't. But that's another story. But AP performed well for him. So of course, if I'm an interim coach, and this quarterback helped me get this job, secure this job, and I'm head coach next year. He's starting. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care how much you pay this bastard over here. He's starting.
I'll never forget AOC's 63-point game.
Well, it was a defense mainly, but yeah, but he still put
that
a
was
point.
A good game though.
Yeah, that was. I feel like that was his ceiling, and then the game before against Minnesota was his floor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it was like, damn, we seen both sides of what it could be.
It wasn't his fault. It was a bad play calling, and of course that infamous fumble that Renfrew had cost us the game. But he got the ball to him. You saw the pass. He got to him. He was running for the touchdown, but he just dropped the ball.
AOC
So it wasn't AOC's fault. He did what he could do, what he had. No running game, no nothing. So
yeah, that's why I don't know. I like AOC. I like Geno Smith better. As the starting quarterback. You know what I mean? But I do think a lot of people slept on his talents. He had talents, but for the team, the same excuses we give for the running game is the same excuses we can give to him for, like even for Minshew, things weren't peaches. You know what I mean? It wasn't like everything was perfect around him. Like things were, line was crazy for the start of the season. It was still trying to figure some things out. Antonio Pierce didn't know what the hell he was doing. You know what I mean? But he was learning. It's not his fault, but what do we expect?
That's mainly our nation's fault because we wanted him because what happened the year before the 23 season. At the end of it, we would just have to get a big dummy out of there. So okay, AP fine. But the thing is that he should have been the assistant coach before he became head coach. Yeah. He was a linebacker coach. I mean, we done before with Madden, but that was a different type of era. That was totally different from what it is now. But he should have been like at least an assistant coach. Work his way up the ranks. A
lot of the players were pushing for him too, though.
Yeah, well, because he was inspired. A lot of players pushed him because they wanted that asshole out of there, literally.
Yeah,
and then plus AP was a good motivator, good speaker. He knew about the Raider way. He grew up in Compton, LA, so he knew about the Raiders. He saw him at the Coliseum like I did. He knew what it was all about. And they fed off of that. I don't blame AP for what happened. I blame the higher ups, the GM, the owner.
I did not know this, guys, but this will change everything. Geno Smith is a Libra.
Well, they got to do anything.
Man, it's the greatest. That's the greatest sign in the world. Greatest balance. You know what I mean? Loves pressure. Very balanced under pressure. Quiet storm.
I guess. I don't know. I don't follow that.
Super Bowl coming. That's all I know. Libra gang.
All right, fine. If that's what you believe in, I'll go with it.
Libra gang.
He's a good leader.
Yeah, great leader.
like it went down. I mean, because he won a contract with Seattle. They said we're gonna pay this much. I don't want to be traded. The next day, the Las Vegas Raiders traded third round pick for Geno Smith. Like, damn, that was quick. Because Pete Carroll saw when he's on the market, go get him. Go get him. And I like that he's bringing because Geno Smith. One thing he knows how Pete Carroll like to run his teams, and he's gonna pass it on to his offense and to everybody on the team, basically.
That,
So
Ray Love, that may be true, but it's true. Great people, all the great words and the you could throw, you can pass us to the Libras.
A Libra. I'm a Scorpio.
Okay. Hey, watch! Everybody's gonna throw out the players. We got Genty as a Sag.
Yeah, you start talking about everybody. What is Pete Carroll? What is Pete Carroll?
I seen somebody else yesterday. They were like, "Damn, I'm hella sad. Jacobs is gone." I'm like, "Bro, we got double now. We got Mostert and Genty. We good."
I was sad when he first left, but like I said, even with the linebackers we let go of, it was bad to see. But now looking what we added, it all makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 2 for 1, almost like 2 for 1.
And then Chip Kelly too, and at Ohio State, man, he balled out with 2 running backs, and I mean, Genty and Mostert, bro, that's a good duo right there.
Yeah, that's gonna be saucy.
I can't wait to see that on field.
All the blame should go on Mark Davis. All the blame go on Mark Davis. But like I said last night, what's called Mark Davis, sit back. Relax with your 26-year-old girlfriend or girlfriends, plural, whatever he has. Write your checks and let the football guys do the football things. You just sit back and relax and collect that money and do business deals. That's all you got to do now. You're not your dad. Nobody ever be an Al Davis. He was one of a kind person. You're not your dad. And he even said that, I don't know football, like my dad did. Okay, well then do business like you did great business. You went from $3 million to $5 billion. So you did some good business moves. Just write your checks. Let the football guys do football. You got Tom Brady in now, who's a football guy. Let him tell you hey, we need this, we need that. You got Richard Seymour. People care about Richard Seymour. He's the owner too. He's a football guy.
Yeah,
he is.
Guys.
So let's just say this: who do you guys think will take over ownership when? I know I don't like to say this, but when Davis times come and he goes to, same thing that happened with his dad. Like, who do you think will fill those shoes? You think Brady will try to take it over? Or?
For now, Carol actually owns the team. Carol Davis. She has full control of the team, but Mark Davis does the running of it. What Mark Davis is doing right now, which his dad would never do, is sell pieces of the team. So I think he's going to sell pieces of the team to football guys, football knowledge. I don't think the Raiders are going to go corporate sell to a corporation because it'll ruin them. I think he's going to trust certain guys to come in there, to buy the team. So they'll probably go that route.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It won't be a one person on the team. It'll be a conglomerate of people like the Redskins have. They got the guy and then Magic Johnson involved in that. Same thing with the LA Dodgers and all that stuff. It's gonna be like that.
Like Charles Woodson with Cleveland.
Right. Yeah. People say, why he buy Cleveland? Well, he's from Ohio, so
exactly.
He played for the Raiders, played for Green Bay, but he grew up in Ohio, so that's probably one of his teams as a kid, and he got a chance to own that team. But believe it or not, he's an owner, but he's still a Raider, regardless.
She said toxic red flag.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah, I really something's telling me Mostert's gonna go off, bro. I feel like that's gonna be one of the most underrated signings is Mostert. I feel like he could hit a hole and be gone at any instant. And if our running,
quick, bro.
Man, and if our line is as good, as if it's really gotten better from last year, bro, we're gonna run all over everybody.
Well, that's the beauty of it. We're not depend on one back to do everything. That's the beauty of it. You know, we depended on Zamir White to do all that, and he wasn't that type of back. You
Yeah.
know, but Zamir White, I keep saying he might have a better year this year because he's a fourth string running back now. To see what happened in training camp, but if he does stay on the team, he's not. He won't have that pressure on him to be that back. You know what I mean? He can
Mm-hmm.
go in certain situations. It's say, Samir, this is all you got to do. It's third down one. Fall forward.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
He's a dude.
Oh, I can do that. I can do that, coach. Yeah, put me. I can do that. Good. That's all you got to do.
Pass the torch, coach. I got
Yeah.
it.
I'll
That's
do
what
that.
Ginty does. That's
Yeah.
why I love Ginty as a running back, bro, because he's a downhill runner, bro. He you don't ever see him falling downwards or back at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know he's not going to be able to break tackles like he did in college, but I could see him ducking breaking some tackles. I just don't see him doing what he did in college in the NFL level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4
but see-
yards. 4 yards. That's just at least get 4 yards.
He had
You know what I'm
70
saying? Like,
he
you
had
ain't
70
got to break 20 yards. Just get that consistent where we bang it, banging it up the middle and getting at least 4. Because, 4, 8, 12. You know what I mean? You do that 3 times, that's first down all day.
Yeah.
But get that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But not that negative 3 yards, -1. Gets you too big and you're doing too many damn curls to be getting -3 yards and all that.
Well, his issue was fumbling, so you got to tighten that up first of all. He's so worried about fumbling that he doesn't. He's scared he might drop the ball. So you got to get that out of his head. But like I said, we're gonna depend on Genty to run every down, 30 yards a game, 30 carries a game. No, we don't depend anymore. We can use Mozart in such situation. We use McCormick if he stays healthy in certain situations. We can
He was
use
good.
Zamir White in certain situations where we have to depend on one player to do everything. So that's the beauty of it. That's the way Pete Carroll used to run it. He had beast mode, of course. Nobody really can stop him in his prime. But then again, they had a second running back. I forgot his name. It was Armstrong. I forgot his name, but he was in there too. So it ain't like be that cowbell carrying the ball every down. You can switch it up. And Chip Kelly, way he does it, they're gonna switch it up.
Yeah, if he
And
gonna
everyone's
motivate.
going to expect Genty to come out the gates and just go crazy. So when Mostert gets in there, they're not going to know if there's going to be a pass or run.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be exciting, bro, to see how they play that, especially the play action. That's going to be a motherfucker to watch out for.
Well, same thing with Genty when not last year, but the year before last, he had 600 yards receiving for running back, so he can catch the ball backfield.
Yeah,
He's actually out there running. He actually running routes out there, running right receiver routes. So they don't know what they're gonna do. That's the other thing that's so awesome. That the best way to be a defense is keep them guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that, like I said, keep that defensive coordinator up in the booth, man, with a big ass tub of Tums from Costco. Like, hold on.
Yeah, hey, I like that because as you guys were talking about the running game, I could just picture it. Just what I'm saying, I could feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes me smile. Like for real. Like I just see it being not so predictable anymore. Where it went from Zamir last year, where Zamir White was number 1 running back 1, to now he's 4, and I'm good with that. I'm very comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and Pete Carroll's gonna motivate these guys. Like even Zamir White, he gonna be, hey Zamir, before he goes in. I hate to say this, but the dude number 51 was talking about your mama. Go show him. Go show him. Go show him whose family to mess with. Just little things to get people fired up. Like that's Pete. Pete's gonna tell you what you need to hear. You know what I'm saying? To challenge the man in you, which we need to get back to that.
It's been a while since we had a good head coach to lead this team at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Bauer, top 3 tight end in the league.
I was gonna say, with a better quarterback, does Brock Bowers have an even better season than last year?
No.
I don't know. There's too much weapons now.
No, go ahead.
No, yeah, I don't. I mean, I think he'll do good, but just based on what we added, I think there's there's a lot more potential out there to get the ball to instead of just relying on Brock Bowers alone. And especially with the run game, it's going to slow down, numbers for the receivers as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
think he'd be good. I think he'd be all right.
No, I don't care how many yards you get. I don't care all that. I don't care how many touchdowns you get. 4 is not enough. I need him to get at least 6 to 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns. Okay? So he's not going to do what he did last year, all them yards and all them catches, because now they got more weapons. Yeah, they got that third guy out there. Tucker's going to be a big impact because now they got a quarterback that actually get the ball to him.
Yep.
There's a thing that Geno has the highest percentage among quarterbacks at 20 yards or more, passing percentage, completion percentage, or rating. I forgot how to say it, but he's a top. So anything past 20 yards, Geno Smith was ranked number 1. So there you go. So that Tucker now can get the ball. Thornton's going to get the ball. Best going to get the ball.
Myers
going to get the ball. So last year we had to depend heavily on Brock and Jacob because that's all we had. Literally, all we had. This year we got more weapons. So he's not going to have a big season like that. Last year, I hope he does. That'd be great. But I don't expect to have a big season, but I do expect more touchdowns. That's what I expect.
Yeah, because Mayer coming into that too. I think he's going to split. I think Mayer's going to be really productive, and that's why I say with the accuracy of Geno Smith and how our guys don't really drop a lot of passes, I can't see this going that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I everything's pointing up.
No.
Hampton. You think Hampton's better than Genty?
You said Hampton?
That's what he's talking about, Morgan Hampton.
Ooh.
I mean, he's good too, but
why you guys want? Why you? Oh, that's Tiro. You gonna talk about his charges? You want to? That's only 14 fans. I'm not worried about the teams what they have. I'm worried about what we have, what we can do. I don't care what they got. I don't care who they have. I don't care if they resurrect Walter Payton, bring him back, and you run football. That's fine. He's gonna have. But I tell you one thing. They need to worry about what we have, not what. Stop worrying about who they picked up. Oh, Chiefs picked up that. So what? Oh, the Chargers got him. So what? Who cares? We're a Ray Nation. They should worry about what we have, what we're doing.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm going to rant right now. Yeah, I do that now and then. I'm tired of worrying about what other teams got. I don't give a crap. Personally, so what?
All right, Chris. I remember that when we play like New England, and you like, oh, they got Josh McDaniels.
No. I'm glad they got Josh McDaniels. We know what he does so good. That's a good thing for us.
Yeah, that's a W.
They can have him. We didn't need him. We didn't want him.
No,
He's an OC genius. Well, he was a genius somewhere, but he wasn't with us. So good. Let him be a genius with Patriots. Fine, whatever. I'm not worried about that. But I don't care who they have. I care about what we have and what we're gonna do. I'm sorry. I'm just an old school Raider fan, man. Screw them. Let them scare. Let them fear us. We shouldn't fear them.
Yeah. The only reason I like looking at other teams is just to see what we're up against. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Chris, I really don't give a shit about what they got or how their team does. I just like to look at rosters and be like, okay, they got what I mean. We gotta to see what we're going up against. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not necessarily, like you said, giving a shit about who they got. It's just, especially when it comes to coaches and things like that. That's all they do, man, is study other teams.
And as Raider fans, we got to put it in the air. Because if we see it, we want the coaches to see it. We want, what I'm saying? Like it's just how it is. But when we see the holes, we want the coaches to see the holes. We want the owner to see the holes. We want him to hear what we see.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to say, they got this, they got that. That's fine. They can have what they want. Well, we got some players too.
Oh yeah.
Now these guys put together, put on the field, put on the grass, and beat the living shit out of everybody. I'm gonna curse because you know what? Enough's enough. I'm tired of being the clowns in the NFL. I'm tired of being the stepping stones for other teams. Oh man, we just want to win. Who we play next week? The Raiders. Oh, we got that. I don't hear that shit. They're gonna say, we gotta play next week. Oh my god, we gotta play Raiders next week. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I want them to do. I want them to suffer. I want every coach, head coach, OC, DC, owner, GM, when they play the Raiders, I want them to suffer. Call me a masochist if you want them. I want them to like, damn, suffer. Because when we come to their house or they come to our house, like they said, remember the Titans, they gonna remember playing the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
The bad news Raiders.
Yeah, there we go.
So
Get back to that. Get back to that dominance as we talked about last night.
So we play the Chargers. What does that mean? Bad news for the Chargers.
There you go, fan. There you go, fan ball. Make sure, hey you guys, make sure you like and subscribe to, of course, to Raider Nation Jason if you haven't already. Me, myself, Chris for Raiders. I'm streaming right now. Also, my guy down here, Chewy, he's also streaming too. Make sure you like, subscribe. In there, I don't have any moderators. Any moderators in either Jason's or Chewy's. Put our links on there so you can like, and subscribe. Because the more the better. Make sure the like buttons. That helps us out a lot. I'm still new to this. No, this is only my 5th month.
Yeah,
So
me too. My first month.
Yeah, and Chewy's also. So let's get subscriptions up. So when season starts, we can have all ready to go for it. So you get good content, great content, and we can come here on a Sunday, Saturday, Monday, whatever. Did you see that Raiders victory? Yeah, we can start saying that
Yes,
again.
sir.
Again.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Dave P, what's good, brother? How you doing?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't think we've seen you over here before.
Hey, Dave, I'm good show. I think
Dave.
I've seen him around before. He's been
Dave
around
talked
before.
my shit a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Dave.
Sure.
Hey, Dave, if you haven't checked these guys out, Dave, this is Raider Nation Jason, Chris for Raiders.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Get over there, give them a follow. They're creators as well. So show you know what I mean? Show some love, man.
Because sometimes I think me and Chewy gonna get a show set up too. I don't know. We gotta work on the schedule, but we're gonna get a show set up too as well.
Yeah.
So we got multiple shows going on.
Ray Love got keeping them gloves. Tell them keep the gloves up. Keep the gloves up.
That's right.
The jokes are the teams with no Super Bowls. Yeah, that must suck.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're in second place in our division of Super Bowls. We're tied with the Donkeys. The Queens have 4. We have 3, and so did the Donkeys. That last one they should have won, but I ain't gonna go into that. And the Chargers have. You guys watched when you guys did the schedule announcement? It was so funny when that guy was in the museum. This is all the teams in the division that won Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy said, I forget how it went, but it was so funny. He said, yeah, these are all the teams that won a Super Bowl in LA. Raiders and Rams. Well, don't the Chargers play in LA? Okay, guys, keep moving.
He's like, yeah, this team, not so much.
It was funny. I can watch that again. It was so funny. Raiders won Super Bowl in LA, Rams won Super Bowl in LA. And they said, I thought the Chargers played in LA. Okay, let's keep moving. That was so funny.
You a simp. You said Chewy started liking the Raiders with Russell. Yeah, that's when I started watching the Raiders religiously, bro. Is when we had Jamarcus Russell, 2007, I believe he started.
Dang. Hey, that was a rough time. And
what
I became a Raider fan was when because my whole family, I'm dropping a video on this later too, but my whole family is Niner fans. I'm from California.
Yeah.
And I think there's only honestly, bro, like 3 Raider fans in my whole family. But my uncle was one of them. Just as a kid, bro, just seeing that logo and the color, bro, and how they play, I was like, you know what I mean? That's just what I grew up listening to rap and shit. So seeing Eazy-E with the Raider shield on and all that. I mean, it was just a sight, bro. I was digging that shit.
Chewies, you remember because I know you said you came with that Russell era, right? So you remember we had like Lewis Murphy, we had DHB, but remember Denarius Moore.
Yeah, Denarius Moore.
Remember
He
when
was
he
good.
started balling out of nowhere, though? You know what I'm saying? Like because
Yeah,
everybody was, oh, DHB's number one. He's supposed to be,
they were bad.
this, and then Denarius Moore just started balling. I mean, he was catching over three. You know what I'm saying? A couple defenders and I just remember that out of your mind when they were that get out of your mind, Bob. That was the time they would score and do the whole. I mean, there was some highlights of good in that, but Jamarcus Russell, boy, was
Yeah,
terrible.
I don't know. My uncle loved him at first, man, and then he, just coming where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jamarcus Russell, he really blew that team down, I think. But even I was a big fan of Jacoby Ford.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ford?
don't tell AR that, man. He's a big Jacoby friend. I like Jacoby Ford too myself,
No,
man.
I love that guy,
We have
especially
we
on
have
special teams, bro. Fuck,
we
man,
have
he was
we have
killing it.
players didn't
Zach
have the
Miller,
right
tight end, he was good
staff.
too.
We had the right staff.
We had Zach Miller back in the day.
Zach Miller was a baller, man.
Yeah, that was our best
Jacoby.
target.
Jacoby was a shit. And I was my first jersey ever was a Darren McFadden jersey. You know what I mean? So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I grew up loving the Raiders, man, when it was fucking 3, 4, 5 wins, and we're still doing it. You know what I mean? So I'm really hoping to get a winning season here pretty soon.
Oh, we're on our way. We're on our way. Like I said, don't expect a lot next season. This season coming up, because like I said, it's not rebuilding; it's retooling. Because they're gonna see. They already saw. Pete Carroll's is sitting home. He's a football savant. After 1 year, he sat there watching games on TV. Like, oh, God, I can't sit and watch this. I need to be out there, and I'm sure he watched all the games.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's seen the Raiders, especially Beast Mode is always in the Raider building.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he watched his boy and everything else, and he watched Geno Smith over in Seattle and see what his plight is, what's going over there. I'm sure he's watching all that. So immediately he came in there, and once again they hired the coach before they hired the GM. Big Girl said, "I'm cool with Spy Tag to get somebody I can work with." That's all he said. I can get somebody I can work with, and they're working together because.
Looks good.
I look back at AP and Telesco. Telesco's on the other side of the building, like 5 miles away, and AP's over here. The GM and the head coach will be working together to get the team straight. They wasn't. But Pete Carroll's back days, they always sitting talking, laughing, joking, making, they're having fun doing this. So, like I said, it's going to take some time. It's not going to take 3 years because you don't hit for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to play this year. They do well, win 9 games, 10 games, make the playoffs or don't make the playoffs, but they're closing up on that threshold to make the playoffs. Okay, Next year, this is what we need. And the guys that played well and won your contract, you're coming back. So
yeah, we finally have something to look forward to as Raider fans. I feel like we haven't really had nothing to look forward to in quite some time. But just seeing the players we acquired, especially in draft, I feel like we finally did good in draft. Last year was great too, but I feel like this year we really set up for the future. I feel like, which is what we haven't done in a long fucking time. Honestly, Ezra grabbing Bowers, that should have never even happened. I'm glad they did, but when I seen it, I was like, whoa, we got Mayer and we grabbed another tight end, but it worked out, and it doesn't work out a lot like that. It doesn't.
We bought 2 more tight ends, 2 more brother than Ishmael. He's a 6'6". He's more of a receiving tight end, sort of like your water guy. Then we got a guy Ian Roberts. He does both, but he's a good blocker too. So we bought tight ends in. I don't know how many you're gonna keep. I think I'm gonna keep 4 or 3, but can't go wrong with keeping 4. That way Bowers don't have to do everything. See, I got like they did depth. One player don't have to do it all. He can come in there to take a break. You got somebody there that can do not as good, but can keep up, So we're good on that aspect. The offensive line is coming together. I look at it I think they're doing okay with the offensive line.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out. The one thing that they did not make a mistake that the regime did, they didn't draft a center to be a guard. They got a center to be a center. That's what it excels at. He's a center. They took Mumford and they move over to his natural position, left guard. Because, Jess, in Ohio State, when he was a guard, the dude was a beast.
Yeah, he was.
That left guard Ohio State.
That's why you
But
can't switch them around because it's different. I mean, I know it's on the
well,
line, but it's all
well,
different.
he moved a tackle because that tackle they had there was hurt for the season. And had nobody else that was just good enough to play tackle. So he said he went to play tackle. If he don't stay at guard for the whole career in that
First
draft
rounder.
in that draft, he'd have been a top 10 pick. I mean, not top 10, but one of the top 10 guards taken in the draft that year.
Yeah.
But he
Ohio
wasn't.
State breed some dogs, man. They breed some players out there.
Yeah. So now they put back in guard.
That's good.
So like I said, when Ohio State, he was a beast at Ohio State was a guard. Just he went to tackle, and that's when his draft stopped. His draft stock dropped. Because he was okay at tackle, but he wasn't as good as guard. So they're doing that. They're doing things now to put the players in the right position. You know what I mean? They're putting players like you're better at this than that. So we're gonna put you in a position that you're better at, so we can win games. Not because this, but Mumford he can go tackle or guard, but he would mainly guard, which I think is a great move.
And that's why I was mad at last year, like when we were tearing off 10 straight losses, why we weren't shifting all these things around last year. And since we were like, okay, since we're not since we were losing these games, let's adjust for the future. Let's see, let's get the trash out of here and let's see what works. See what players we can put together that work. Because if we're losing, obviously it's not working anyway. So might as well try to change some stuff around. And it took this regime to get it, but at least they're getting it, and we're hearing them. Like even with what's his name? Dalton Wagner. They're even getting him, trying him out at some things like that, which that's all I wanted was to hear, hey, we tried Dalton Wagner at guard, just to, at least try something different. But we were sticking to our guns, and 4 wins is what we got out of that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. When you get a good front office, good head coach, good coordinators, that's when you get that. That's when you get what you're talking about. Last year, like I said, you have AP, bro. Like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Besides being a friend to all the players, that's all he really honestly knew how to do was be cool with players, and that only gets you so far. You know what I mean?
And then you had the offensive line coach and everything, but he fired all those guys. I said, why you wait till the 8th game, 9th game of the season to do all? He should have fired him a long time ago, but he did what he had to do. He fired him. But now, like I said, they got the right people in the right position and in the right places. And like I said, that showed a sign of like Mr. Viler said last night. He said, I asked a question. Well, the question I asked him, you think we're turning the corner? And he said one thing very smart. He said, we're not turning the corner yet, but we're veering to the right lane. Like I said, we're in the right lane to make that right turn. Yeah. So yeah, we're on our way. So I'm gonna say that's good analogy. I like that. Yeah. But like I said, you're gonna put. Speaking of Dalton Wagner, he beat up Mumford at number 2 right tackle. According to reports, he's beating him out. Okay, good. So that's why he moved on to the guard.
And he's had some time to develop too, because this is, I want to say,
third year.
Oh, third year. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah, he got that first year, then he got hurt, and they kind of hit him.
He was a stash too.
Yeah, they stashed him away the first year. The second year, he didn't get any playing time because of
Yeah.
what happened. This is third year.
Hey, think about that too. 2 of the stash players still here, McCormick and Wagner.
Man, McCormick wasn't stashed. He was just hurt, so nobody wanted him anyway.
No. Remember that first year they tried to, because remember he was coming in, and then all of a sudden there was this injury that no one even knew about, and then all of a sudden he was on the some kind of one of those reserve lists. His first year.
Oh, the PUP.
Yeah, it's something like that. But we were like, where did it happen at? It was, pretty much a stash job.
Yeah.
McCormick showed some spurts of greatness, so that's why, I'd put him at a RB3, to be honest.
He is RB3. He's
He is?
RB3.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah,
with that.
I see. I don't know. Well, we can see, but hold on, see, I'll find it.
Go to
The
They're gonna probably run the hell out of Zamir White in preseason. I would.
they're gonna beat him up in preseason. I hope so.
No, because hey, if he can't break out in preseason against like the third and whatever string, then yeah, you got to go, bro. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna be that should be the test.
He's still in contract, and he wasn't they ain't getting paid that much. They might just keep him there, just be there. Let's see. Hold on, man. Let me get this up. He might be there. They might let him go because they let him go. He goes some team and break out. So now we can't have that.
That'd be crazy. Zamir leading the league and rushing.
I don't.
That would never happen in this league. Maybe go to USFL. But if it happens this year, Junior White, man, broke the 2,000 yard mark. Who he played for? New Orleans Saints. And they go Wi-Fi Willie.
Damn. He gonna have the Zamir White jersey.
Huh?
Wait, I don't even know because Carr's done, so he might be a Raider fan again. Just saying.
Well, he always been a Raider fan. It's just that can you guys see that?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, what happened? I lost it. Oh, there you go. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. So there you go. We got Gino. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Dick was. Didn't see. Mostert. Oh, it's not Mostert. I don't know why. Mostert. Well, let's call it the Raheem. The Raz attack. Raheem, Ashton, and Sincere. So RAS, the Raz attack.
You said the Raz.
I just made that up on the fly. The Raz attack. Yeah, man. You're going to do Raz attack, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's seeing this was the Raz. Anyway. Yeah, so C4. Okay. So he can stay there.
Mm-hmm.
We got Josh Beck behind Kobe. It should be. Now, the interesting thing about this is this. Trey Tucker needs to have a breakout season because he got a lot right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's faster, but Malot's right behind him. So that's actually a good battle. That's a great battle. I'll take either one of those two. Kyle Phillips is a guy that Chip Kelly worked with at UCLA, so I don't know what his rule's going to be. That's what they brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Keydron Jackson. Remember that's got we had live. What's his name? We had live. That's who said watch him.
Oh yeah, David Dunn. We had him on.
He said watch Keydron Jackson. He said watch him.
Mm-hmm.
They got Thornton as number 2 receiver. Alec Bachman, yeah, he can kick rocks. Bye. He'll get playing time. Well, we threw the ball to you twice. You dropped it. Well, no, get out of here. Let's see, where's it at? Still far. Did they update it? No, they didn't. They still got Muppet in there. But actually, we moved to the left side as guard. They moved on the left side. Let's see how he plays there because he was the left guard in college. So hopefully he can do good at that position where he naturally played at. They got Wagner. Yeah.
Oops. 1 second.
Yeah, we got to see what Kappa's going to do on that line, though. That's the only one I'm really worried about.
Yeah. But yeah, he had that one bad year. But some players have bad years. Especially they go to a new team with a different system. And plus he was hurt a lot in that season. So he wasn't full potential. So he's a veteran. He won Super Bowl. So he can help out. Because look at where he's at. He's in between. He's in between two. He's in between two second-year players.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage. That's an advantage for us because he's in between two second-year players. So he's that bet right there. Colt Miller's a bet on the left side. He's a bet on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that. You know. So Jordan Meredith, I ain't ever have him than Parham, but like I said, they said Parham beefed up a little bit this offseason. We'll see. But I'm happy with the guys we got. Carter Bradley probably out.
Yeah, he's gone, I think.
Mm-hmm. I watched OTAs. He ain't look good at all. Cam Miller look better than him. Zach Akira Franklin, they talk about him a lot.
They were saying like Cam Miller's another prodigy of Brock Purdy kind of guy.
Cam Miller?
That's what I've been hearing around. Is just the way like how he plays and shit. They feel like he could be like another Brock Purdy, which is good if you have a great team. You know what I mean, and great coaches to lead them. But
I don't want no Brock Purdy. I don't want to. Yeah, I see you saying they are compared to Brock Purdy. I'm cool with that. Brock Purdy's have to be in a good situation. He's in
exactly.
He's in there. He's in there with one of the good quarterback coaches. This guy somebody here. This guy. Look at that 6'6", 222 pounds wide receiver. And he been for 3 different teams. One reception for 6 yards. Must have been hurt last year. That's what I'm saying. Who's this guy? That's a red zone threat right there.
Mm-hmm.
6'6", 222 pounds? Who's going to guard that dude? Remind me of that guy we had a couple years ago, that Hollins guy. I wish we would have kept him, but,
I'll lock his ass down, but that's just me. I'm a 6'6".
Yeah, he's taller than the guy we drafted. So
I'm gonna jam him up.
But he's 222 pounds, so he's not a little guy.
Well, I'm gonna make him fall because I'm just fall. You know what I mean?
We're gonna do stick a leg out triple.
No, I'm gonna let him run over me and we can fall. Oh,
He's gonna do what? He's right for the ball, so he's gonna tie his two legs together. Like,
inside that 5 yards, we're gonna fall.
Oh, exactly. You can't tackle him. I didn't tackle him. My arm actually wrapped around his legs by accident. I was just trying to check. He's so tall, Riv. I couldn't. That's all I could do.
Yeah.
Listen, we got Ian Thomas. That's his name, Ian Thomas. But we have the other guy. What is Ishmael? He's not on the list. The other guy, Ishmael, he should be there. So we got weapons, man. I'm not. We're good.
Yeah. And then remember Keyshawn Smith? He told us to watch out for him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in that last lane.
Right. Keyshawn Smith or Keyshawn Jackson? It's Keyshawn Smith. You're right.
Yeah, I say Keyshawn Smith. Like he said, watch out for him.
Yeah, it was Keyshawn Smith. Yeah, watch out. He's 5'11". Says boy's fast, so gotta watch out for him too.
He looks serious too.
Yeah, he got the lip gloss. He got that lip gloss now, so I don't know about that. I don't know why he wearing lip gloss, man. I'm kind of suspect on that, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Is it silver and black lip gloss?
Yeah, he wasn't silver lip gloss. Yeah, that's another guy you got to watch out for too. Keatron Jackson from Baylor. I mean, like I said, we got a lot of weapons. We got a lot of competition to beat out who's gonna beat out who. So even they do, they rookies. So even they do go to practice squad, we got those guys there. Let some other teams pick them up. Hopefully not. So yeah, I'm ecstatic for the players we got. I don't think last year we got 3 players that started. This year, hopefully we get at least 3 players to start, or 4 players to rotate in and out.
Yeah, it's filling out. It's filling out nicely.
Yeah.
But hey, you see that where Adam Butler questionable though?
It is a little hurt in OTAs, but it's nothing serious. No surgery needed. I forgot exactly what it was.
I could come in there. I can come in there and plug up the middle. You know, if they need me to, man, not even for a lot. You know what I mean? We can, we
Cause
can talk.
you just want to play football, man. That's what you want to do. I'll
You
come.
know what I'm saying? Like
I'll get that 20-yard field goal. You ever kick before? No, but I'll give it a shot, coach.
hey,
I just want to play.
you know what I mean? I'm good for a good 22, 25-yard field goal,
Yeah, he said, "He gonna ask you, Jason. And so, what do you do? You gonna say like, what do you
Hey,
need me to do?
yeah. Hey, where are y'all lacking at? And that's
What
where
do you want me at?
put me in there. Wherever y'all lacking at, I got you.
Can you play that? Yeah, coach. I tell you what, I'll get the tee off the kickoffs. I don't care. I want the. I don't wear the red uniform and wear a helmet. Go get the tee. I won't get it.
Yeah.
Those guy was talking about Tank Booker. I was talking about him. 6'3". Yeah, it is a big boy.
Tank Booker. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, 6'3", 347. Yeah, you can clog that middle up. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Like I said, about worry about Christian Wilkins, I said we got guys.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really had them, so it's like, man, we had them for a few games, so I'm used to us not having them already.
Exactly what I was saying though. He was gone for the 7 or 12 games. And we still did okay on defense. We had Adam Butler was angry at that. They got this guy Tonka. He ain't no well, he's probably got to develop a bit more, so I don't think he's gonna be in that rotation.
Yeah.
But he's still a beast. And then we got a fullback on the line.
Ooh.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
And he can run. Jesus. I don't know the skill set gonna be on line. But like I said, Wilkins, I want Wilkins to play, but if he can't, good. Sit him down.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a guy I'm interested in seeing playing. That dude.
Charles Joyner.
Yeah, defensive end from Minnesota. He reminds me of Kuntz. He has a good bend. He has a couple of good moves. He has some moves. Not just a bull rusher. He got speed. So I'm interested to see how he said right now he's fourth on the depth chart. But if you watch some of his highlights, you'll see what I'm talking about. It reminds me of Kuntz a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see him. What was I looking at? And this guy right here, they put him on offensive line too. I don't know what side. I think they're trying him at both guards. I don't know if it's going to be a tackle because that takes a special type of skill. But he's an international player, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, he's he's like a extra player anyway.
Yeah, he's like that 91st player or 92nd player. Well, I mean, they got. So he was a D tackle. They got him as D tackle, but they also put him on offensive line, which I'm cool with. You never know. He might turn out to be one of those like Hall of Fame offensive tackle or offensive lineman. So the roster looks good. And this one kills me. Damian Porter starting over Jacorian Bennett. Yeah. That's gonna be interesting to see.
Shout to Reality Speaker. Let's see the safeties and yeah, that's Lonnie Johnson. That's a player that a lot of people say it was a good pickup too. I always forget about that signing.
Yeah. Another big. That's a Pete Carroll typical DB. 6'2", 213 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Good tackler. See what his stats were. Last year, 7 total. What was that game? Still things. No sacks. No interceptions. Nothing. Yeah. So that's another. How long you been in the league? 29. He's been in the league for a little while.
Yeah.
He's experienced at least. Another guy got step up was Trey Taylor. He has to step up big time. But he's not typical Pete Carroll height wise and build wise DB. But like I said, he can step in the ballpark and help out, special teams, whatever. I won't see him do something. What's that? Oh, Chris Smith, another guy. That's another guy that definitely not Pete Carroll guy.
Yeah. Possibly, like you said, with him like a special teams player, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's been, I think last year he was in more, towards like the end of the season. I know I remember seeing him.
because Epps is out. Epps
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what you do because, like I say, he's not typical Pete Carroll style of D back. And this guy right here always managed to make the team no matter what.
Yeah.
Sam Webb always on this team. Like, dang, he made it again.
And look at the size. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
6 deuce.
Pete might keep him around.
Hey, he plays good sometimes in there. He's a little inconsistent. You know. And everybody sleeping on Darnay Holmes. I'm telling you, the dude, everybody want, no, he's not big, but he's a slot. He's a slot DB. Everybody's like, Miss Hobbs. Yeah, hell yeah, Miss Hobbs. I wish he could play the whole season, every season, but he couldn't. He couldn't stay in the game. This guy basically had the same stats as Hobbs when he took over Hobbs when he was out. You know?
Hobbs going to cold ass Green Bay. He getting hurt there too.
Man, well, good luck to him. The guy, he's a tackling machine. Look at 30 tackles, sack one. Didn't get a pick or anything neither. I don't think Hobbs got a pick with us. Maybe one, maybe, I don't remember. But look at, he's played just as good as well as Hobbs. He's not a typical Pete Carroll size thing, but slot, yeah, that's good. That's good size for a slot. 5'10".
And 2024 was his first year with the Raiders.
Yeah.
So, and that was a rough year for everybody. So I mean, you know what I mean? We're gonna wait to see what he can really do with this team and in this coaching staff he has.
Like I said, he played well when he was in there. So
yeah,
if somebody saw put Jacorian Bennett in the slot, I said, no way. Why would you do something like that? He's not the greatest tackler. I mean, he's a good coverage guy. You stick with you, but he's not a great tackler. Because to be a slot, you got to be a good tackler because you got to tackle those running backs and sometimes tight ends. So you need somebody to punch them out.
Yeah, he uses that sideline as his friend. Like that's what if he can keep doing that, because he's got the speed to kind of recover, but he's just gotta, I'd rather, like you said, keep him on that outside. And then we just have to have someone that can stop the bleeding inside.
Chris, how many elite players y'all have? You can care. You can have many elite players you want to, but they can't play the game together. Ain't no good. I don't care about elite players. I care about the team as a team. That's what Hero's saying. Oh, Piano Man. It don't matter. You can have 22 elite players, but it don't mean they're gonna win games. It doesn't work that way in football.
Yep, that's the Lakers.
Whoops. Exactly. That's the Lakers. That's a lot of pro teams that sign these big guys. They got Kirk Cousins. They're going Super Bowl. Shit, they didn't get to the playoffs. It's not the elite players. It's the coaching and the players on the field playing. We got 9. So what? You can have 20. We don't care. Why do we care about the San Diego Chargers? You guys are roommates to the Rams. You guys are renting a room.
Bert Nerney.
What they call those? Oh, it's subletting a spot in the SoFi Sweat Stadium.
Damn. Bert Nerney.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't care. Yeah, I'm cool with you, Rod. No, I'm with you, man. I'm fine. You have been chill.
Yeah.
But I don't care about elite players how many you have. I care about players that we have now that want to be elite. We have to play the game, and play it right with the rest of the team. I need a guy go out there and try to pad his stats or try to make himself look good. I want to play within team concept and the team play. You know, because like I said, me and Jason met Jerry Chin. Boy's a big boy, and you can say he's just, I'm gonna say it, humble as hell.
Yeah.
He is.
All business. You know what I'm
He
saying?
wants
That's
investors too, man. He's a humble guy.
yeah.
You should have saw when he got on stage. He didn't believe the support the relation brings to the table, and that was just in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
You know, down in all large city in Bakersfield, and what's the name? Had to make him say Raiders right, and he couldn't say it right the first 2 times or 3 times. He finally got it right. And then the crowd said, "Nah, I ain't what he said." It comes from down here on up, and he finally got it right. And you can see a big smile on his face when we all cheered him. He was like, "Wow, this is Raider Nation, dude. Welcome." Because you got to make some big plays. You're gonna hear the fans say chant, chant. You're gonna hear that, especially at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
so what time is it? Hey, guys, guess what I gotta do today, Jason?
You're barbecuing.
No.
Hey, so I won, so I get a plate.
You know me. I'm not doing ribs or anything like that. So I gotta do some carne asada to cook.
Ooh, that sounds good, bro. Shit, you
that
speaking my
sounds
language.
well. No,
Send the address.
you feel me?
Hey, I told you to get 12 wins, man. I'm gonna give you my address. When we get 12 wins, I guarantee I'll give you my address.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
You guys heard it here. You guys heard it here over Raider Nation on our chat. I will give these two guys, not the chat. No, you guys are getting it. I will get Red Nate Jason. I'll get Chewy my address. You already got both of you guys got my phone number. So I'll give my address and I'll say today's the day. Get down here with barbecue.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Oh yeah,
I'll bring the beer. I'll bring the beer, so don't even trip.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, bring your own beer. What are you gonna bring?
Hey.
Margie can pull up to. Margie, Jason, I'll have your number. But you can pull up too.
Hey, you know what I'm bringing.
Yeah, I got some of that too. Don't even trip.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't care. Y'all can do that. I don't mind. It's California. It's legal, so I don't care.
Yeah, it's legal, bro. Hey, it's crazy how you can walk in a store now and just.
Hey, you guys, you see where I'm at, right? My setup. Shit, you can smoke in here. I don't care. Hey, this is my cave. Smoke in here or smoke outside. It's plenty of room.
And I just requested it's in winter months. That's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? I just requested it's during the winter month.
She said Lumpias.
You know, like November, December, January. Because man,
November's actually a good month because it's not as cold and it's not hell of a hot.
Yeah.
So October, November are a great month because it's like that 70 range, 70 degrees outside. It's not burning up.
Yeah. That's the best time to go in Vegas too. I love, man. It wasn't hot. It was cool. It was, it was almost like the Bay. It's just, a little different.
I'll be in Vegas next month. I went last year in August to the Niner game, and fuck, man, it was kind of hot.
Damn, I was hoping this one was there too. That way it's a little bit closer, but I think it's in Vegas. Did they already decide the Niner Raider game?
Yeah, it's in Vegas.
Okay, Vegas. So yeah, it is. Yeah, I was
Vegas.
I'll be at that one. I'm gonna meet up with a 805 and see how many shots he can handle before he gets drunk.
805's a beer drinker, but he drinks alcohol. That's right, he does. Oh no way. What the hell?
Yeah, the Lumpias must come to the party, Chris. That's part of the deal, right there.
Yeah, we only got one preseason home game. That's the 40 Winers.
Yeah.
My wife probably saying, like, yeah, that's my team. I know it is, honey. If you listen.
Yeah, they're on the decline. We're on the rise.
You guys try to get me kicked out the house?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Can't do that.
See, I can't even say nothing nice. That's why I was like,
I'm gonna try to walk in, and the door's like, "Hey, damn it, let me in."
She's like, "That's how you feel." Huh?
No, I'm not a Niner fan. I'm a Raider fan. My wife's a Niner fan, so I support her team. for her. She support me because, like I said, she bought me this hat. She support my team too, so she don't hate. But when it comes to we play each other, it's a different ball game.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Ray Love, killing them.
Jokers can't smoke until you win a bowl. Well, they ain't gonna never win a bowl, so they ain't smoking nothing. Yeah, this is a game I'm worried about. Right, where's it at? What's the bye week at? This is a game I'm worried about right here. That Tennessee game. Because I think. Okay, well, while I'm here, because I'm gonna get off in a little bit. I'm gonna show the games I think. I'm gonna give this an L.
Where?
The first game.
What
No,
the fuck?
hell no.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah.
Let me explain.
Yeah.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Let me explain. I'm gonna give it an L. I'm gonna give it a close loss. I'm not gonna give it a 24-6 loss. I'm gonna give it like a 24-26 loss, something like that. And I'm not, I know, because they go in there, they going to New England, and Raiders never really played well in New England. Never. I'm gonna get that win. Chargers win. Beat the pants off of them. Washington. You know what? I'm looking at their team. They did good last year, but I still think we win that game. I don't know why. I think we win that game. I think we win the Bears. I think we win the Colts. I think we lose to the Titans for some reason. Now I think we lose to the Chiefs. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're 4-3. Or possibly 5-2. New England, I'll say a toss up. I'm not gonna say lose, I say toss up. So we're 5-2 going into the bye week. The history of the Raiders and Pete Carroll's, they don't do well come off a game of the bye week. And this is at Jackson. No, it's at home. That could be a win. 6-2. Denver, that's 7-2. Dallas, 8-2. Cleveland, 9-2. Chargers, 9-3. Denver, 9-4. Eagles, 9-5. Texans, 10-5. 11-5. And 12-5. We could go 12-5.
Hey, you already made your deal. You can't go back now.
Well, we could go 12-5, but I was saying 10.
We eat.
But I get a New England toss up, so that can go either way. So it could be 11-6
plus the playoff win. You know, that's the 12th win.
There we go.
I'll say we go 20-0 and win it all. Just to get this is win every game, 20-0.
Hey, because really, when you were going through the first, I see us winning the first two for sure. That's what I say. Like, and then with everything else, really, we could go on the street. Because I mean, I don't respect Chicago like that. The Redskins, yeah, they can get it too. The Colts, that's all they have. You know, since Indiana couldn't get it done, it's on the Colts. You know, so they're probably still hurting. So they're not going to do much. No, but I see we could. That I mean, if we literally if you look at that, if we don't come out of that with like a 5-2 or something like that, I mean, then we really need some work.
We got to come out there. We got to come out the first 7 games with a winning record.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas 4-3, 5-2.
Yeah,
we can't come out there 3-4. We cannot come out there 3-4. We can come out there with a win record. I like to go 5-2. Mm-hmm. You know, possibly 6-1 because Chiefs. We play Chiefs well in Kansas City, so you know that could be a win too. Washington, I'm not scared of them. They don't scare me as much as some other teams do. Bears, I don't give them respect because they're first year coach too.
Yeah. I like that New England game's a morning game too. I know we don't really play, well in the morning, but if you're gonna play and then without all the nerves and all that, because I mean, it's easier in the morning to just kind of get after it instead of waiting for the morning game and then all the nerves that lead up. If you're the first one to get cracking, this kind of sometimes it's good. That's even the better for the element of surprise.
2, 3, 4.
Even that Washington game is in the morning too, huh?
But look at our later schedule. We got more home games than we do away games. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home games and 3
Philly's
away games.
Philly's in the morning too.
Oh
The
yeah,
Chargers, Denver, Philly, and Houston. Those are going to be the games to watch out for. Those 4.
Mhm. Yeah.
well, that's
Yeah, that could get ugly if we're not right. Those 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, that Philly game's been one of those things because they got they're in with the Washington Redskins or Commanders, whatever you want to call them. They're in that divisional battle with those guys. More like I don't know, Cowboys. I don't think they're going to be in that. So it'll be Washington, Philly. So they're going to have to win games to stay in that bracket. So it's going to be a tough game for us. Houston, they're in the AFC South. They can just walk through there. I don't see the Colts, Tennessee Titans, Jaguars. Jaguars might give them competition, but I don't see them having to struggle to win that division. Have to win every game. New York Giants is going to be New York Giants, although they got the Jackson Dart set, but they're going to be New York Giants. Kansas City game is another one that got to watch out for because it might come to the point where if Kansas City already got that number 1, number 2 spot sewn up at the last game of the season, they might not have to put their starters in. But the hatred for the Raiders is so severe that they might put Mahomes and everybody else in there. And that's when we got them. That's when we can beat the crap out of them in the last game of the season so they can go into the playoffs limping in. So they got to take them both consideration. Right? But it's for the division, of course they're going to put them in. Because I don't know. Kansas City, this coach's going to be weak.
And those last games are kind of wicked. Oh,
Yeah,
because
so that last
Houston,
half of the season gets us.
yeah, Houston ain't no punk. That's why I say we got to win early. We got to win early. We got to get these first. You know what I mean? Like you said, 6-1, 5-2, fast start. And
But then Houston might have that AFC South sewn up by then. They have to worry about they might just the last 2 games they might ain't play their best player. They'll play some players, but they'll have the AFC.
Yeah, we got 2 divisional games back to back, and then we go and play the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
And then we got to go play Houston. Those last 2 games, I see us winning the New York and KC.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Houston game, we could get them because, like I said, AFC South is weak. So, like I said, they probably by week 13, they probably had the division already sewn up. But shit, so and that way they can rest their play. Because last year, see, they learned from last year because they went to playoffs. Everybody was hurt. They play players like why they play these starters in there when they don't need to when they already got their division wrapped up. They keep them out. So they probably like, you know what? We got division. No, we're gonna win automatically. 2 games left after this. Now, rest our starters. Get some young guys in there. So they learned. They said they probably should learn from last year what happened to them because they won that game completely beat up. Could have won if they had their players.
Yep, and then by that we don't have any. Well, we just have that. We have a couple in the last, like the AFC games. So, like we got the Chiefs, the Texans, and then Denver. So, man, we can make up for a lot of those tiebreakers and all that with those, like Cleveland. Take care of them.
Yeah.
Chargers by then. Hopefully, we get on a good streak.
Yeah, if we can go, like I said, if we can go 5-2 or 4-3 in the first half and for the bye week, we're doing good. If we can go 6-1, even better. If we go 7-0, that's even better. But like I said, the minimum I say is 4-3 the minimum. You can't go 3-4. 4-3 the minimum, but you got to beat the key teams. You got to beat the donkeys and the chokers. Those divisional games, we got to win those. Got to. At least win those 2 games. Maybe the Chiefs, maybe we do play them tough in Kansas City, but at least get those games out the way.
Yeah.
I feel like betting on that Philly game. I feel like that's one of those fluke, you know what I mean? Just something funky with the NFL. Like that'll be the one. Because everyone's, of course, going to be like, oh, Philly, Philly, Philly. And then bam, whop them.
Well, hopefully it's still in that They get that Super Bowl hangover. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they got a battle with Washington. So for that division, like I said, Dallas might show up early and then they'll fade into oblivion like later in the season, like they always do. You know, they said, "Well, Dallas got this guy." Yeah, yeah, they had that last year, and what did they get? Nothing. Now they got a new head coach. So, and they got him at last. They got him at the last minute.
George Pickens over there is going to be crazy though. That's why when people ask like what worries me, it's really those DBs. You know what I mean? Because like, okay, who's our best DB? Who's our number 2 DB? You know what I mean? Like who's gonna take the number 1 guy? Who's gonna take the number 2 guy? And right now it's kind of like we think we know, but until we see it on the field, but that's the only thing that worries me, like us getting torched out there because our DBs are so fresh that what I'm saying, they don't. Because we seen it with Bennett, we seen it with DCam, So I mean, we hope Porter doesn't go through the same thing, but we don't know until we see it.
Well, you know what? I gotta say, Pete Carroll's DB coach. I'm gonna keep saying that. No, he's gonna develop those guys. Bennett was thrown in there, like just thrown in there. No, wasn't developed at all. DCam last year, same thing. He was just thrown in there. Wasn't no development. Nothing. So, DCam might be better this year because he had a chance to develop, learn some things. What was that? Hold on, let me see. We're going to positions right now. DBs are running backs. Running backs, we got shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs. How many think we keep?
I'd say 4.
Because Lobby's going for a special team, so they might take him out the running back room. So 4 tight ends. There you go. Quiet Ismail. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tight ends.
Say 4. I say we keep probably 4, 5.
Yeah, definitely keep. We're gonna trade Brock. We're gonna cut Brock Bowers. We're gonna trade Michael Mayer.
Damn, John Gruden.
That's the old Raiders do some bullshit like, what the hell you doing? That's the old Raiders.
What the hell?
No. So Brock Bowers 1, Myers 2. Who's the other guy? Ian Thomas 3 because he's a hell of a blogger. And then there was the other guy. Yeah, 4. Red zone guy. I'm good with that. How about you?
Alex Sloop.
Yeah, Alex is a good guy.
Yeah.
Michael Mayer, Brock Bowers, Quadri Ismail, and Ian Thomas. Carter running. I don't know what the hell. Oh, he's UDFA. Yeah.
I definitely like the 6'6" guys.
I want big guys, big fast guys. Pause if necessary.
Pause. No diddy.
This guy got to go. I'm telling you, he'll whine all last shit. Like, shut the fuck up. Catch the ball, then you get out there.
I was gonna say, is Alec Bachman like hella raw or something? Because like I remember you saying that he was crying for the ball. Like, why is he? I mean, he's still around, but is he really that good or like?
He was a rookie last year.
Why is he still around?
He was a rookie contract.
He got 4 years still.
Yeah, he's 2 years.
Or 2, yeah. After this, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 3, maybe 1, maybe none. He was a rookie last year. He was special teams, but he wanted to be a receiver. He was like, I want to be a receiver. Okay, you in there. Do the ball to him. Well, once you're doing the ball, so I guess, it is what it is.
Yeah. Medicine balls.
Best.
Yeah, coffin balls.
You got Best. She's staying. Let's see. And then I only know two that's going to stay.
Yeah.
3, 4.
Jacoby might be on there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Jacoby might make
So they could probably keep 5 receivers, maybe 4, 5.
Yeah, I'd say 5, 6 really, because
We got 6. Okay, let's count down. Okay, let's see. Nope. Beck 1.
best one. Colin Johnson.
I haven't heard too much about him in the OTA, so I don't know what his stats is. I mean, he's a big kid, but that don't mean anything.
Yeah. And then touchdown Tommy, I think they'll keep him either for special teams or something like that.
He's a special team player.
Yeah, Jacoby for sure.
That's 3. That's 5 wide receivers.
Yeah. And then Kyle Phillips, I still think is going to make it as far as like special teams, maybe return. Dante Thornton for sure.
Yeah.
And then Trey Tucker, I think, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, these are 2 speed demons right here. Hey, can you imagine them? Put them like both on each side of the field with that Jitty in the backfield, Brock Bowers right there, man. And they just take it. Man, imagine a 4 wide receiver set.
Damn.
With Thornton, Jacoby, Besh, and Tucker. Just 4 receivers. Can you imagine that? What defense is like, what the fuck are we going to do now?
Yeah.
You got 2 guys that go down the field, and you got the other 2 guys are clutch receivers. And then you got a running back in the backfield. We're going to put Amen in the box. He's going to bring out to a 60-yard run touchdown. And that's why I like what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Chip Cut is going to have fun with this. It's going to be fun. Yeah, so anyway, fellas, I might have to sign off. I will cook right quick. Man, it's been a pleasure having you on, Chewy. Remember, you guys like, subscribe to Chewy and also RNJ Jason and also myself.
Yes,
Get those
sir.
subs up. Hit the like buttons, please.
Yeah.
Help the algorithm. Get it going.
Get those like buttons up when we on. I don't know, me and Chewy might have something set up this week. I don't know. Let me know the schedule. Because I'm free all day, all night. So work it out. And Mr. Jason, we'll have something set up.
Yes, sir. Everybody that joined like a little later, we debuted our intro today. So definitely check out the beginning and you'll see our intro.
You can play it right now if you want. You can shit.
Hey, don't mind if I do.
I can see it.
Yeah, I ain't seen it. Let me see that.
Oh, for sure. All right, bam. Let's see. Whoop.
It's the Sunday morning pillager show. Chris for Raiders. Oh. Raider Nation chasing. Oh. Pillaging just for Sunday. Oh. Me and Chris, we don't miss. Oh. Me and Chris don't miss. Oh. Me and Chris don't miss. When it comes to this Raider classic, we don't miss. Raider Nation, we don't miss.
I know y'all can't wait for that Madden cover to be for real, for real.
Hey, so who was saying all that?
That was myself, you know what I'm saying?
That's
That was
what it sounded like. That was pretty cool.
That was the alter ego. Yeah, I was playing with some stuff, and it just kind of worked. So we went with it.
Dope. Yeah, that's tight.
So appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, more to come too. You know what I'm saying? Like as we get closer to the season, you know what I'm saying, we'll have more stuff to talk about, more to get into, more content. But definitely.
Yeah, well, we're getting 3 weeks now for a training camp? Just 3 weeks?
Oh yeah.
So that's when the real fun begins. We get training camp, then they get their little break, then they go to the preseason. So then we get to play, then we get to scrimmage against the 49ers. So it's starting to get there.
Yeah, it is. Alex, a nice intro. Yeah, that shit was clean.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Chris out there going out for that catch.
Yeah. You see him, man. Gotta have the best players.
That pick six.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Chewy's, what you got going on?
Today, I'm dropping a video later on about how I became a 49er fan. What the fuck?
Damn.
Raider fan.
Damn.
My shirt.
Yeah, that was my bad. I don't know what the fuck. And I just been trying to stay active with the videos. You know what I mean? I just try to come up with something to drop every day. But later on today, I will be dropping that one, how I became a Raider fan. And I mean, that's pretty much all I got planned for right now, man. For season though, I got game reviews and all that coming out. So as soon as preseason hits, I'll be doing that. Post game, pregame, and then we got the fantasy draft going on with Jeff. So we got some shit to look forward to. It'll be a fun year.
For sure, man. Good luck. Best of luck to you. And what are you guys doing for the fantasy league? Is it what did we do last year? It was the guillotine. We did the guillotine. Shout to Angelo, man. We did the guillotine league last year.
Okay. I don't know. Me and Jeff made it. But yeah, I don't think we got nothing planned for it too big, but we'll see what happens, bro. You never know.
For sure. Definitely so. Yeah. So hey, all right, yeah, definitely stay in touch too. You know what I'm saying? You always can, more than welcome. Definitely come on, man.
No, yeah. I've been fucking with your shit for a little while. You're pretty cool, man. And you know what I mean? I'm open to go on with, you know what I mean? As long as they're cool and respectful, hey, I'm down to jump on a panel with whoever, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. For sure.
Likewise, I don't do fantasy, so I'm not in that league. But I don't mess around with that. I never could.
Well, Chris, you're gonna be running that stream, aren't you? You're gonna be running the live, I guess. While we're
when you guys do it, y'all be running. Because I'm a person like I'll pick a player because I like him, and then they do nothing or they out. I just wasn't into it.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, I'm not really a person that look at stats a lot. I like, can you play football? Can you catch? Can you run? Can you tackle? So there we go. That's all I care. All right. So yeah, this week I have anything coming up this week. I don't know. Me and Jeff gonna do a Friday night, 4th of July. I know we're gonna do a Saturday, I think, but nothing really coming unless anybody hit me up. I'm still working on my intro. I almost got it together for my solo shows. I got the beats down. I got the pictures, but put them all together is kind of like, damn, I need a professional editor to do all this stuff, but it's coming along. Yeah. I'll probably run a couple tests. Probably run a couple tests next week just to test it out. But other than that, really nothing. How about you, Jason?
Yeah, like I said, I'm actually doing a show tonight with Vic. We're doing the Fellas Night Out episode. We back for the summer. You know.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Cool. So I'm gonna just kind of get ready for that. And yes, it's pretty much everybody can join. It's pretty much for everybody. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of everything. So, just real talk and enjoy. Come in and talk. Comments are definitely appreciated.
I'll check you guys out.
Hit me up, man.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So now you gotta work on your outro.
Yeah, I was hey, we're gonna let it rock with the other one.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So as always, guys, what do we say?
Raider Nation for life.
Win, lose, or tie. Raider Nation till we die.
Straight up. You heard it here.
Let's go.
Raiders.
Appreciate you, brother.
No problem.
Sir. Bam. We love you, Raider Nation. Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's the Sunday morning pillager show. Chris